Dame la ciencia.
Me, myself, and I still pushing forward, I'm ahead like die. Standing on my flow with my head to the sky. Pass on a bitch, young rip, drop dimes. It's been a rough road, gotta look for the signs. I'm married to this music, so I cook for my bride. Flip out like a skateboarder, look how I grind. It took a long time, but I'm right on time. I'm progressing, that's progressive, I got bars like a correction. Still chasing petty cash, that's a mantis. I want extra, I stop searching for my pops. I hold my nuts just like a checkup. I get physical, I'm copping just like Interpol. I play on words like a syllable, to me the world is fading. Hold this L just like a Laker, like a birthday, my shit caking. It get messy like an apron, I pick out just like some bacon, and I sizzle like it too. Can't forget about you, boo, it feel like we on a loop. Same shit, different day, I don't know what's really true. I get high as I leave hoops, who gon' give me what I'm owed? Man, I guess nobody knew, and I know that money talks, so what it said is probably true. It's the feeling that I get, and the shit I'll probably do to get through or get by. I get fly, cause I'm Jeff Goldblum in my mind. Tell them hoes to fall in line. If you thought I fell off, bitch, I'm back like my spine. Hot as homemade pie, that's the pro rate, ma. I'm a pro, ain't I? Sniff it out like K9s. I'm a thief, it take time to be great, I'm Bayside. I get blue like Kelly Parker, when I'm gone I left a mark. Tell them fish I'm still a shark, I got will, I will embark on this journey till it's finished. In the midst of all this friction, I got vision on my P's like no limit. Like a mouse, now we clicking, I go out for the spinach, that's business.
Cut the cord that kept us connected, blacking out the mirror where your light once reflected. All of the love from up above, we used to feel like a glove. I still think about the you that only exists in my brain. Nothing ever stays the same, guess it's just a shame. There's no one to blame.
Stop looking for somebody else to lay the blame. Without a wave of change, life stays the same. So when I pull up to your spot, I'm with a paradigm chick. Only used to have one and it's my paradigm ship. Cause for celebration, I cracked the hen. I took a hiatus, but I'm back again. A bunch of blue face hundreds, I've been stacking them. Cause in the game of life, I just have to win. So when I'm in go mode, I be ballin' insane. Tried to walk away, they was calling my name. My brothers from another, we are all in the game. Don't give a fuck about clout nor all of the fame. I'm trying to inspire, empower, build and progress at a steady rate. Move heavyweight like a Bowflex. The haters make me greater, they mad, I got them so stressed. Shock my style for a while, now I can show text. Screenshots as proof and receipts. You a certified clown, been a goof in the streets. Angel made the beat, but this my demon flow. Get a lot of love from people I don't even know. And when the situation's ugly like Dudley, we do right. Fuck propaganda, let's conquer and unite. The wait's over, take over, it's commencing. My money fully grown, and yours like an infant. But that ain't no shade to you, it's just provision and protection, what you made to do. Being a man with a purpose, who you supposed to be. Living life as a loser, that's a joke to me. FN 509, stay close to me. If I pull it, I'ma spray like some potpourri. I don't wanna have to go there, so hopefully you don't try to have no beef or no smoke with me. Bro, everything I'm talking about, be backing it up. I'm back in the cuts, rapping the Dutch and macking a hut. She start to get aroused when I'm smacking her butt. Baby got stupid cheeks and she be clapping it up. I'ma enter through the front and hit the back of her guts. She a classy lady but be acting a slut. When we be kissing and cuddling, my bitch like to hug. Her box customized so it fit like a glove. Your radio's up. Turn your radios up. Y'all know what this is. Y'all know who this is. B-Eazy Dat Dude, an impromptu stream, back with another one. This one is gonna be a banger. Definitely gonna ruffle some feathers, so it's gonna be a doozy. I don't like to keep y'all waiting, especially since I got a lot of the East Coast fam. So I know it's getting late and it's about time for y'all to put your bonnet on and start winding it down. So since I don't like to keep y'all waiting, and before we get this thing started, I gotta hit you.
If you know the song, sing along. Yeah, you're right.
私も地元民。と言っても実は世代です。もう友達できたの？うん。ぶっとこっち見ろ。
Look, this promethazine got me leaning like a cholo in the club. I'm 20 deep. I don't be riding solo. Pull some bad bitches, they vanilla and cocoa. They wanna take some photos when we kick it out in Soho. Chicks is showing tits and popping pussy for my promo. Told them like juvenile, baby, move it for me slow-mo. Then I'm right back to the block, cause I keep getting moto. I be flipping, not shrinking. I don't give a fuck about no-ho. This nigga name ain't D-Lo, but pimpin' these bitches and stacking this bread forever be my stilo. This is B-Eazy Dat Dude in the trap making pass smooth. If I ever go broke, then I'm about to pull a jack move. Since a nigga healthy, I don't even gotta worry. With my bitch from Fiji eating tandoori and chicken curry, that ism is really envy. My pimp game international, I design my own clothes, so I be always looking fashionable. Here's a couple facts about me that y'all didn't know. Some of y'all be getting bread, but I be getting bigger, dawg. I got bigger guns and a whole lot of bad. And we are activated. And y'all see this on here. Actually, let me pull this down real quick before I add it back. But we've already been joined by some illustrious guests. The only one who has revealed themselves is, of course, Sincere Saida in the building. And she coming in hot. She said, why you got all the snow bunnies? Hey, well, you know what? You know, I'm an equal opportunity employer, you know what I mean? But you know what? Hold on, don't get it twisted. I got some chocolate up there too. Here, let me put up some chocolate too. You know what I mean? I got some hold on. Give me uno momento, right? Bam. Okay. That's some chocolate right there. Bam. This some red bone. Bam. So we'll go with the red bone. So before we get this thing started, let me give y'all a quick overview, right? Sincere, I'm trying to get into the show, but Sincere, she got jokes. I guess she's here all week. Salute to Sincere Saida. Since I can't call her the overseer, she'll get mad and, stop sharing me out. So I don't want to call her the overseer. So Sincere, the comedian, salute to her, you know what I mean? But the Snow Bunny Wrangler, hey, that dude got a bit of ring to it, you know what I mean? But let's see though. So already discussed, hold on, let me pull this down. Give me uno momento to pull this down. So I've already discussed the Super Bowl, right? And I need to make a retraction because when I was speaking about the Super Bowl, I said that the Bad Bunny performance was the largest performance ever. So when you type this in, Bad Bunny versus Kendrick Lamar views. Now, this is frivolous and I don't really care. However, I do care about the truth. So I'm retracting the misinformation that I espouse, but that was based on what's reported. I just typed this in now. So this is still current now. You see that there was almost 20,000 results, 19,800 to be exact. So when I said, what are Bad Bunny's views versus Kendrick Lamar's views in the halftime show? It says Kendrick's Lamar halftime show had 133.5 million viewers, while Bad Bunny's performance surpassed. Y'all know what surpassed means, right? Surpassed it with over 135 million viewers. A historic feat, right? Let's go down a little bit more. Kendrick Lamar. Let me get this down. Hold on. Kendrick Lamar set the halftime show record in 2025 with a record 133.5 million viewers, earning acclaim for his artistic depth, storytelling, and cultural commentary. The performance featured a mix of his most popular songs and guest appearances, right? Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show reportedly in this regard is almost like allegedly, drew over 135 million viewers, surpassing Kendrick Lamar's record. So as y'all could see, I'm just setting this up for y'all. This is just the preface. Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show tops Kendrick Lamar. Bad Bunny breaks Super Bowl halftime record. Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime viewership revealed. Aiden Ross, who was a clown, stooge, and a bigot, Aiden Ross claims Bad Bunny topped Kendrick's legendary performance. Another one, all hip hop. Bad Bunny breaks Lamar's record, right? So you get the theme of it, right? So let me get into this video and we'll see, are these numbers accurate? And if they aren't accurate, did they lie? Was this just an honest mistake? Let's see.
5 million. Michael Jackson. The numbers are finally in for the halftime Super Bowl show, and Bad Bunny is number 4. That 135 million number, that was a guesstimate. They was just guessing. But this information comes from.
So why were they guessing? We can just sit this here right there. They were saying that Bad Bunny's was the best halftime show ever. Me personally, I didn't watch the show. So if y'all in the chat want to let me know, did y'all think it was the best ever? And I wasn't protesting it. I don't got anything against Bad Bunny. I don't have anything against Latinos. I just didn't watch it. I had other things to do. I actually was working and, earning some coin, getting some bag. I didn't want to fit the stereotype of us being lazy. So I was working, getting some money. So I didn't watch the Bad Bunny halftime show. I've heard mixed reviews. It looked like it was a spectacle, but saying something that's highly viewed or because it made you emotionally charged doesn't mean that it's best. And look at these numbers here. Michael Jackson did surpass Bad Bunny's numbers without YouTube, without smartphones, without any of the controversy and hoopla surrounding the performance. And don't forget about Usher, also known as Ursher. Salute to Ursher, 129 mil. Bad Bunny. If I had a choice to go to a Ursher concert or a Bad Bunny concert, who are you going to? Salute to Bad Bunny. I think the dude is a talented artist. It's not my cup of tea. I've heard some of his songs where I was like, man, I don't know what he's saying, but this song slaps, right? But comparing him to Usher, really? If it's Bad Bunny and Chris Breezy, going with Chris Breezy. Bad Bunny and Usher, going with Usher. Bad Bunny and The Weeknd, going with The Weeknd. You know what I mean? And we're not even going to play and mention him in the same breath as Michael Jackson or Prince. I know people have been doing that, but that's extremely blasphemous. But let's get back into it.
The numbers are finally in for the halftime Super Bowl show, and Bad Bunny is number 4. That 135 million number, that was a guesstimate. They was just guessing. But this information comes from Nelson's Big Data Plus They've been doing it for years. These are legitimate numbers. Kendrick Lamar remains number one at 133.5 million. Michael Jackson remains number two at 133.4 million. And Usher remains number three at 129.3 million. Buns Bunny come in at 128.2 million. Number fourth place. They went on to calculate the numbers for Turning Point USA. Kid Rock, 5 million. 24 hours later, he was able to accumulate 19 million numbers, 19 million viewers. I say if Living Color rebooted their.
So Sincere says, it seems like they are trying to make an issue between the cultures again. Well, of course, they're always trying to make an issue because they thrive off of conflict. Once people are bickering back and forth, it allows them, the people who are pulling the strings, the people who are puppeteering and actually in the position to oppress and subjugate, they like to see the people who are considered the lower class, the rank and file, the proletariat fighting and, kind of, having animosity with each other. But Black people just basically didn't care. Some people said it was trash, but that's their opinion. There were some people that didn't like Kendrick Lamar's performance. That was their opinion. But there's been this growing narrative where if you didn't like Bad Bunny's performance, that somehow you're anti-immigrant and anti-Latino. And many people just don't care. That's for the bigots. The bigots, the MAGA maniacs, they've already revealed themselves that, hey, they hate Bad Bunny or they don't like it. That ain't us. If we said, look, man, we just send this out, we while he's doing his performance, I'm gonna go throw some on the grill, or somebody is gonna go out and have a smoke. That ain't nothing against Bad Bunny. And some people watched it and was like, it was cool, it was all right, I wish I understood it. And then people are like, well, you don't learn Spanish, you need to learn Spanish. It's like, why are you getting aggressive with me, right? Like, no one is saying, people are not pushing for you to learn Spanish so we can build a cohesive coalition. Hey, why don't y'all learn Spanish so that we can do more business together? Learn Spanish so you can listen to Bad Bunny's halftime show? Okay.
5 million. 24 hours later, he was able to accumulate 19 million numbers, 19 million viewers. I say if Living Color rebooted their halftime segment, which they're responsible for why the halftime Super Bowl have a halftime show, if they
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And not only that, Prince as well. Remember, Prince was singing Purple Rain in the rain. How could you really top that? Salute to Bad Bunny, but mentioning him in the same breath as Prince and Michael, anyone should be ashamed of itself. And I don't care about the numbers either, because the numbers could always be fudged. Clearly, they fudged the numbers and nobody is coming out and said, hey, my bad, my bad. They give the estimate because the estimate is supposed to, it's almost like the retraction of a story, right? If it bleeds, it leads, right? If they falsely accuse somebody, if a dude gets falsely accused of a Me Too allegation, right? And it turns out it was false, after he's already got drugged through the mud, and you like, hey, that was false. Nobody is saying my bad. And you can't just snap your fingers and repair the damage that's been done to his reputation. Now, this is not, that serious, but there is some hidden agenda. These people have the numbers. Why was there a rush to push the numbers out and lie? Right? They didn't need to rush. They had to wait. People had already seen the performance. They liked the performance. They liked the dancing, the choreography. Why did they have to rush out and lie about the numbers only to come back and say, oops, my bad, we got it wrong? After all, it went from saying he had 135. I even seen somebody putting something out where I think it was closer to 136. Let's just go with 135. And he ended with 128. That's a huge difference right there. What, almost 7 million off? They fudged the numbers that bad? Was that a lie or intentional? They said he had 135, but he actually had 128. Okay, let's get back into it.
Who did they have? Hours later, he was able to accumulate 19 million numbers, 19 million viewers. I say if Living Color rebooted their halftime segment, which they're responsible for why the halftime Super Bowl have a halftime show, if they rebooted their halftime segment and if Turning Point kept their halftime segment, that alone will cripple the NFL halftime show. They will lose ratings during their halftime show performance. But yeah, those are the numbers. Bugs Bunny number 4, not 135 million viewers. It's 128 point something. Yeah.
So there you have it. Was that a lie or was that just an honest mistake? What do y'all think? I think there was something more sinister at play. I'm not quite sure what exactly it was, but yeah, how do you mess the numbers up that bad? Bad Bunny allegedly had 135 million viewers and they said, oops, my bad. It was actually 128. So lower than Usher, lower than Michael Jackson, and lower than Kendrick Lamar. But all right. And guess who's getting blamed for this, right? So there has been some backlash for Bad Bunny's performance. People were saying, look, we don't care if you were dancing. Some people were saying, Bad Bunny, you're a bad representation for Latinos and for masculinity because you're up there gyrating and kissing on men. Some people were saying, hey, this is an American spectacle. You need to speak English. So there were various people drooling at the mouth, foaming at the mouth with anger and vitriol. And it was mainly non-black people. It was mainly MAGA maniacs like the Megyn Kellys, the Kid Rocks of the world. But guess who many in the Latino community are blaming for this backlash? Yes, you guessed it. Foundational Black Americans. Hold on. Huh? MAGA is over here doing a counter halftime show to protest you to take away from your viewership. They had no black person on the lineup. In fact, they had people on the lineup who called black people niggers. And instead of aiming your ire at them, your animus and vitriol at them, you turn to the only community who has historically had your back. So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to react to a video from Street Media TV, the brother George Macon. He did a good breakdown. I haven't really seen his breakdown. I just seen some of the video and I said, you know what, this was well put together. I will react to it. So I don't have to go searching for the various clips, and we're going to hear it out of the horse's mouth. All right. So let's just get into this. Why are FBAs being blamed? How the hell is this our problem? The Bad Bunny backlash? Hey, blame the blacks. But you know what? We're used to it.
A Bad Bunny, bad performance of the Super Bowl halftime. We're still investigating this. There's a lot of information that has come out about the lyrics. I saw the halftime show and we're switching back and forth with the TPUSA halftime show. The lyrics.
That was a malfunction. I mean, this was apparently intentional.
This was intentional.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they could not have said this were it in English. So just the fact that we're at a place in our country where we had a fully not understandable halftime show to English speaking people, which is the language of this country, by the way.
Now, a lot of people was asking me to comment on this, and they were saying, George, where you at on the situation with Bad Bunny and that Super Bowl performance? Now, a lot of people, you know, didn't understand what he was saying, you know, while he was up there performing. He started off in the sugar plantation, and he, you know, he had the black brother up there that was holding up the L, that was representing Oitza, right? And some of us did understand what he was saying. A lot of people didn't, right? But the crazy thing is, this crazy thing is, a lot of Puerto Ricans are mad at the black community. It's like we get the blame for everything. And the reason why we get the blame for everything is because we move the needle. There is no movements. Nothing gets done without us, right? Everybody needs us to sacrifice ourselves in order for things to happen.
We are the cultural glue. So people come to us for cultural clout, and they know that we gonna get things done. For the people that believe in the stereotypes that we're low IQ and lazy, okay? So why, when y'all protesting, why are y'all saying, where are the blacks at? Why would y'all be looking for us if we're so low IQ and lazy? Maybe it's because you know that we're not lazy and we stand on business. Maybe it's because you know that we're not low IQ and you can use our insight, acumen, and intellect. If that's the case, then why are you trying to lean into the stereotypes when you want to crap on us? But then when you want us to crash out for you and be your political doormat is, hey, big head, nah, stay over there. I've been joined by an illustrious guest, Big Rick Slaps, in building. Yeah, I'm gonna be on one tonight, bro. Let me know if you want to come up in a bit.
Happen. Now, a lot of black people said, hey, man, I don't know what they're saying. I'm not saying it's bad or good. We just sitting this one out. But you got some people online that might say some bad things, but the Puerto Rican community is just labeling the whole black community with that. Because one or two.
Yeah, the Dominicans, they are like the lords of, I know Black Papi. Now, they're not the only ones, but they just go out of their way. Like, if you call them black, it's like you'll see like a blood vessel almost about to burst. I know black. And they almost turn into a Super Saiyan. But other groups have been doing it too. I'm not black, I'm Haitian. I'm not black, I'm Nigerian. Black is just black ain't, you know, what would they say? Black is just a color. Ain't no country called black. And whenever I say, yeah, there's no country called white, and they're still dominating your country. And you know what they say after that? Nothing. All I hear is a chorus of crickets chirping. Let's commence.
People might voice their opinion online. Now, that's the whole black community, but there's one group that they're not speaking about at all. That's the W man. The W man, MAGA, Kid Rock, all this. I don't see them making no videos online going after the Trump administration, MAGA, and all these people, because those are the ones pushing the line on y'all. It ain't no.
So mind you, they say that FBAs have no power, right? So we don't have the power to deport you. Instead of blaming the people who have the power to deport them, they're blaming us for not protesting with us. So y'all mad at us for not protesting with y'all, and you're more mad at us for not protesting with you than the people who's actually rounding you up. The dude, Alex Preddy, they say allegedly the two people that, you know, fatally shot him were Latino. Most of the ICE agents are Latino. Most of the Border Patrol is Latino. So what exactly am I supposed to be crashing out over again? No. Martin Luther King said this. Malcolm X said this. You have to say ICE out because we stood up for George Floyd and BLM. Huh? How long ago was that? And just because you bought a shirt that the money and the proceeds didn't go to black people, or you marched in a protest that wasn't full of black people, what does that have to do with someone who came here illegally? It doesn't, but it's a way to try to lean into your cultural clout and say that, hey, you guys have a history of resistance and rebelling. So use that cultural clout and energy towards our cause. Now, you ain't going to get nothing out of it. You know, we'll act like we have some solidarity, but as soon as you crash out for them, they're back to calling you a pinche mayate chango.
Us, right? Y'all out there, man, saying all kinds of things that you can say to come after us. When you got Kid Rock and them talking like this.
what'd you think of Bad Bunny? I know you didn't see all of it, but you saw some clips.
Like most people, I didn't understand any of it. I mean, I saw there's a lot of dancers and a lot of big to-do stuff. And, you know, he said he wanted to have a dance party. It looked like he had one. Not my cup of tea, but I don't fault that kid for, doing the Super Bowl.
So Kevin says, and don't worry, guys, just to let y'all know, let me give this disclaimer. When I'm reacting to the videos, I do have to pause it, interject, rewind, fast forward to give commentary so that I don't get a copyright strike and I'm not just playing it all the way through. That makes it transformative. YouTube doesn't like you just playing people's videos and giving no commentary. Not only that, I like to engage and be interactive with the chat. So Kevin comes in and says Democrats want chaos until the midterms, hoping it will help the Democrats win the midterms and impeach Trump. And I would concur with this. There have been some Democrats who've actually said this as well, not as blatantly as you're putting this comment, but if you read between the lines, that's what they're saying. Right now, they keep saying ICE out, but they're not saying what they're going to do if they get back in power. They're saying that, hey, yeah, we're going to abolish ICE, but before they had ICE, ICE is a branch of the DHS, Homeland Security. So before that, they had INS. So they're saying they want to get ICE out as if they're going to stop deporting people. Okay, they say, fine, we won't have ICE. Instead of ICE, we'll just start using INS to deport people. So people are still being deported, but they just don't have an organization called ICE. So it's more, it would be more symbolic than anything. And a lot of these people were saying, y'all need to stop sloganizing. Why y'all saying defund the police? But suddenly they're saying defund ICE and abolish ICE. Don't abolish the police, just abolish ICE. ICE are the police. They're immigration police. Anything with enforcement on there, that means they're going to enforce the law, which means they're going to police you. Even IRS, they're giving IRS agents now. Oh, they're not law enforcement until you don't pay your taxes and they're at your house with a gun, right? And if you try to harm that IRS agent, they're going to treat it like you harmed a law enforcement officer. So yeah, so the Democrats, they don't have any solutions. All they want to do is let the Republicans run amok, because all the people in the wine caves and the Martha's Vineyard, they're not at risk of being deported, right? And they don't mind if a few people get deported, because compared to Obama's numbers, Trump is failing on deportation. So, you know what they say, you got to crack some eggs to make an omelet. So Democrats don't mind many of these the proverbial migrant heads, being cracked like the eggs to make the omelet, because they're going to revamp it and run it as a playbook for their new constituency. See, before it was, they would put it as this kooky theory that, no, we didn't open the border and flood it with these immigrants. No, it wasn't for a new voter block. But now they're already talking about a pathway to citizenship. That's not a deportation, which means they're going to work on some way to do amnesty. So they'll do a mass amnesty for what? 20 million people that's of a particular demographic that they favored. See, it's okay if you want to open the border, but let people come in equally. Instead, they limited, obviously, people that are considered melanated or negroid immigrants. Combined African and Caribbean immigrants were like, they barely made up 6% of the immigration. However, if you look at the Hispanic immigration, they made up closer to 75%. And Hispanic is super broad, right? It could be Brazilians, Venezuelans, Hondurans, Mexicans, and they all lump them up under this one big ethnic group to create a buffer class to say, hey, they're a larger group than the blacks, so we have to help them and we have to pander to them. And that's why you gotta keep hearing no one's illegal on stolen land. It wasn't stolen from Venezuelans. It wasn't stolen from Hondurans, because you alleged the land was stolen. So everyone from Latin America just gets to waltz in. But, this is what the Democrat playbook is, right? So this is why they're constantly pushing This is a nation of immigrants. We're all immigrants. No, we're not. But, they're pushing that so that since we're all immigrants, you shouldn't matter if we let in another 10 million. But you're saying that the schools are failing here. Oh, we know the schools are failing. We know that the teachers are, hard at work, right? The teachers got like 30 some odd kids in their classroom, and now they're going to interject a bunch of kids that you have to help them learn English. And since the teacher can't help them, they have to dole out money, resources for someone to teach them English, or to have them only teach the kids in that language, because this is America, a melting pot, and there is no official language, right? But who does that help specifically? It doesn't help the native population. It helps people immigrating here. It helps the Democrats because they want to have a new constituency. See, it's only the blacks complaining. Look how we treat these other people. They're not white and we treat them well. Yeah, because they're a buffer group and they can paint them as the model minority. But they tell the native blacks to pull yourself up by your bootstrap. And then all you got to do is look at in California. They're trying to give immigrants reparations because they said, we're not giving you niggers reparations. We enslaved you, red line, debt peonage, sharecropping, Jim Crow for hundreds of years, mass incarceration. You niggers don't deserve anything. But somehow immigrants do get reparations because they were too scared to go to work, because they came here illegally and now they have a bunch of kids and you don't want to separate families. So somehow that's the same as Jim Crow. You know what I mean? So this is what the Democrats are pushing and endorsing, but both parties support it because the Republicans don't like us as well. And they'll just have a new demographic to demonize while they're still taking advantage of them, right? Trump saying they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, and then you go to Mar-a-Lago. He didn't hire a bunch of Americans. He hires people that he would consider illegal or undocumented while railing against them, saying we need 600,000 Chinese students, because Americans are too stupid. He's not talking about making Americans not stupid. He said, no, we need to tear down the Department of Education. Okay, fine, you tore it down. What's going to be in place of it? Oh, nothing. Americans are too stupid, so we're just going to get the students from China. Elon Musk, the same way. We need more white babies. And then he hires people that look like Vivek Ramaswamy and Dinesh D'Souza because he said Americans are too stupid. So we have to hire H-1B visas. Both parties support this for different reasons. And they just use it as a political football, you know what I mean? But, let's get back into the video.
Community is just labeling the whole black community with that, because one or two people might voice their opinion online. Now that's the whole black community, but there's one group that they're not speaking about at all. That's the W man. The W man, MAGA, Kid Rock, all this. I don't see them making no videos online going after the Trump administration, MAGA, and all these people, because those are the ones pushing the line on y'all. It ain't us, right? Y'all out there, man, saying all kinds of things that you can say to come after us when you got Kid Rock and them talking like this.
What'd you think of Bad Bunny? I know you didn't see all of it, but you saw some clips.
Like most people, I didn't understand any of it. I mean, I saw there's a lot of dancers and a lot of big to-do stuff, and he's
Hey, I don't know if you're trolling or what, but I might have to put this on some shirts. New merch coming up. No illegal is illegal. No illegal is illegal on stolen land. I got to add some flavor to it, right? New merch coming right up. And it looks like we've been joined by my fam in New York. Where Brooklyn at? Roger Meadows in the building. He says, being a New Yorker, Puerto Ricans embrace their African ancestry, yet they're more European than black. I found more camaraderie with them than Dominicans, who's more black than Puerto Rican, yet they hate us and Puerto Ricans. Yeah, it's crazy because the Dominicans, many of them are blackity black. Many of them are darker than me, and they be the first ones to say, I know black, papi. Okay. And then when we turn around and say, that's fine, y'all not black, You can't gatekeep blackness. Yeah, we can and we will.
Said he wanted to have a dance party. Looked like he had one. Not my cup of tea, but I don't fault that kid for, doing the Super Bowl, getting in front of a global audience. I fault the NFL for putting him in that position, and Turning Point for having to come out and have an alternative for people to watch. It's just poor kid.
Poor.
Why are they infantilizing Bad Bunny? So when you got forget that. You got a 14-year-old Emmett Till and they treated him like a grown man, beat him until he was deceased, drug his body through the streets, right? You have black kids who they always try to adultify, right? But here you got Kid Rock infantilizing Bad Bunny, calling him a kid. I get it, right? He's younger than you, Kid Rock. But since when is a 31-year-old a kid? I don't get that, right? What am I missing here? But do y'all see Bad Bunny as a kid? I know some people in the chat is 30 or 40 or 20, 50. I mean, do 50-year-olds see 30-year-olds as kids? You can see them as younger, but a kid? Okay.
I fault the NFL for putting him in that position, and Turning Point for having to come out and have an alternative for people to watch. It's just poor kid.
Poor rich kid.
Poor rich kid. Man, I think this all started, man, I could go on for days, but the summit, I would think back 2016 when Colin Kaepernick took a knee, to protest.
Yeah, and and shout out to Big Rig. I know what happens. Sometimes I get a lot of hate watchers, and I get it, but you could hate watch, but at least hit the like. We got 75 in the chat right now with only 6 likes. I gotta hit you. Time for a like intermission. We kindly request that you show love to the channel's creator and platform by leaving a like, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest content. Liking posts is completely free and helps the algorithm boost our reach. We want to grow the community larger and larger. So thank you all who take the time to support us. It does mean the world to us and doesn't go unnoticed. Okay, so I hit y'all with a like intermission. It won't cost you a fee. The likes are free, right? So yeah, let's get back into the video.
I think it was racial injustice and police brutality and everything that, we got a lot of people's panties in a bunch, self included. I did not agree with him, but nonetheless, he's got the right to speak his mind, do his thing. And Roger Goodell really had a real problem on his hand back then. And I think he was like, how do I get out of this and, keep making the tens upon millions of dollars a year that I make, in a predominantly male black league. So he goes like, well, maybe Jay-Z will do it, which nothing against Jay-Z. I respect him for his hustle and, his music. But it seems like there's a little bit of a DEI hire there going on, to kind of like, black guys love Jay-Z. And of course, I'm not that ignorant. I know a lot of us love Jay-Z, not just black guys, but in the league.
Here we go again. This is literally about Bad Bunny, but who do they blame? You guessed it. Why the hell is he talking about Jay-Z? As if Jay-Z is just calling all the shots, right? He said Jay-Z is a DEI hire because, yeah, man, like during all the whole Black Lives Matter and the Colin Kaepernick thing. So Jay-Z is a DEI hire. Let's see right now. We're going to see, we're going to do this in real time. And I'm going to tell y'all how many records has Jay-Z sold, right? Jay-Z has sold over 140 million records worldwide. Do y'all think that was all black people buying it? What do y'all like to say? Black people are broke, ghetto. They bootleg everything, right? They ain't gonna buy no CDs. They just gonna burn it, right? And use the old school stuff. Remember what? Napster, Kazaa, and all the stuff like that. BitTorrent and Pirate Bay, right? So out of these 140 million records sold, we could assume that it was mostly non-black people supporting Jay-Z financially, culturally, and influentially. You know what I mean? Of course, it was black people who uplifted him, right? But financially, it's a lot of people that look like Kid Rock who supporting Jay-Z. So when he says he's a DEI hire for the blacks, how? You go to these concerts. If you go to a Jay-Z concert, do you think you're going to see mostly black people or mostly people that look like Kid Rock? You go to a Travis Scott, a Drake, a Kendrick Lamar show. Are you going to see mostly black people or not? So if you're not going to see mostly black people at the concerts and consuming the music, then who is it really for? So he's trying to frame it, oh yeah, man, the league is predominantly black. So Roger Goodell hired Jay-Z as a DEI hire to pander to what, the blacks? How? You already saw what they did to Shedeur Sanders. The NFL owners don't pander to blacks. So this is just some incoherent, blathering, bigoted bozo babble from a washed up, pathetic dude in Skid Kid Flop. Let's rewind that back though. Like, what the hell is this dude talking about? Jay-Z was a DEI hire. Isn't Kid Rock a DEI? Toady? Rhodey? The only reason why Trump is bringing him around because he's not just a butt kisser. He's a crack licker. He spreads the cheeks. He licks up and down and all around. That's the only reason why he's around Trump, because he kisses the butt, licks the crack, and after he licks the crack, he licks the boot. That's what Kid Flop is around for. But here he is railing against Jay-Z. Jay-Z is a mascot. That's all he is. But he's a mascot with, some sort of power that he has to check in. So how much power does he really have? He has to answer to someone. Instead of getting mad at the people that Jay-Z answers to, here, let's get mad at the puppet. They say cut off the head of the snake, right? Not just wag your finger at the tail. Kid Flop, this is pathetic.
But it seems like there's a little bit of a DEI hire there going on, to kind of black guys love Jay-Z. And of course, I'm not that ignorant. I know a lot of us love Jay-Z, not just black guys. But in the league where he had this problem, it seemed like, we'll bring him in. And so, Jay-Z's not going to take that position of power and that money. So, then they convened in a not-for-profit league until, they quietly got rid of.
What position of power does Jay-Z really have? He gets to pick the halftime show. Like, that's not really power. All he's doing is just making a suggestion. Oh, I think it'd be nice if we have this person. Oh, I think it'd be nice if we have this person. He doesn't get the final say. So if he doesn't get the final say, it's not his decision. So why are we trying to pretend like he is? He has just this, disproportionate power. That's not the case. The same thing that they did when they were trying to frame him as an owner of the Jets. And then you looked and it's like, this dude didn't even own 1% of the Nets is what I meant, right? He didn't even own 1%, but they were making it seem as if he was a majority owner, using him as the mascot to bring in cultural relevance. Kid Rock or Kid Flop doesn't understand this because he's not culturally relevant, only with the bigoted bozos and the MAGA maniacs.
Jay-Z. And of course, I'm not that ignorant. I know a lot of us love Jay-Z, not just black guys. But in the league where he had this problem, it seemed like, we'll bring him in. And so, Jay-Z's not going to take that position of power and that money. So, then they convened in a not-for-profit league until, they quietly got rid of that tax exempt status at some point, so Roger did not have to disclose his salary. So he had all sorts of problems. So he brings in Jay-Z, and what's Jay-Z going to do? He's going to do right by his base. That's where you had Kendrick Lamar last year. A lot of people didn't get. I respect Kendrick Lamar, but wasn't my cup of tea. And then this year you're like, wow, they're going to double down. And to me, it was kind of just like another middle finger to conservatives, to the MAGA, crowd, to my base, everything.
So MAGA is just taking.
So look like we have some MAGA maniacs and meat writers in the chat. I present to you Exhibit A, Redneck. Go back online and subject matter shows he is talking about Roger. This is a race baiter. Are you saying that Kid Rock is a race baiter? Because clearly he is. Why is he bringing up black people? I thought this was a colorblind society, right? And we don't see color. So yeah, why is Kid Rock bringing up black people? Why is he bringing up Jay-Z in reference to his race and calling him a DEI hire based on his race? That's more race baiting than anything.
The crap all over Puerto Ricans, all over Jay-Z and everybody else in FBA. We just on the sideline like, listen, we already know this is what they do. Now, Kid Rock is a joke. Kid Rock is a hypocrite. He came up and made his bones off of black people through the black community coming out of Detroit. Man, then he flipped the rock. Right? So nobody takes Kid Rock serious. But the Puerto Ricans, y'all mad at the black community. Right? Why we are like y'all at 1 minute, y'all don't want to be.
And let me clarify this. Kid Rock is not from Detroit. Kid Rock is from a place called Romeo, Michigan. Romeo, Michigan. He established himself on the Detroit rap scene because Detroit is a historically foundational black American city, right? We went over here. He came over here as a yo white dude, right? And we weren't, they didn't just reject him. That's like, bro ain't our cup of tea, but you know what? We're all inclusive. We invite others to the cookout. So he was invited to the cookout, and then he leaves the cookout and starts disparaging us and hanging around with people that calls us nigger, right? But you were just at the nigger cookout, right? He's not from Detroit, but his whole fame and claim is because he came up in Detroit. He was only able to come up in Detroit because Black Americans made a lane for him. They made it safe for him. They gave him credibility and notoriety. Otherwise, no one cared about him. This is when he broke through with rap, and then he tried to switch up and do rock and now he's saying all of this stuff is not his cup of tea. Kid Rock wasn't the black people's in Detroit cup of tea. Nobody cared about Kid Rock. You're a dude from Romeo, Michigan. Like, has anyone ever even heard of that place? So yeah, Kid Rock is a phony.
Be black, right? Y'all don't like this stuff is a joke, man. This stuff is a joke, especially the new Puerto Ricans. The old school Puerto Ricans was cool. Like, we all lived in the same community together, and I get it. Now, offline is still the same way. Black, if here in Philly, New York, blacks and Puerto Ricans get along. So I don't even know why y'all online talking trash, right? That's something between y'all and Bad Bunny, right? Now, if people didn't understand what they were saying and they wasn't tuning in, man, y'all should still be cheering. People tuned in. Latinos is happy. Why y'all putting us in it? Why y'all even making videos about us talking like this?
I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not even, and I'm disappointed in all you. I'm disappointed in you. Y'all corny ass lame reactions to the halftime shacking like y'all not because what's your favorite art? Leave that to the white people. Leave that to the racist people in the world who our culture, black or brown. We all the same. Y'all don't see what's going on with all Hispanic people? They going through.
Huh? We all the same. Bro, what? See, this is where it gets goofy. We all the same, but like, bro, go push this in your community. In his community, they're saying that they're not the same. But then they always come to our community, only the foundational black American community. We all black, we all people of color, we all marginalized groups. No, In Latin America, it's not united. It's not a bunch of Venezuelans and Hondurans building a coalition. Where is the Puerto Rican and Mexican coalition? But they always come into the black community telling us what we need to do and who we need to build with. How about y'all build with each other? Y'all are saying that y'all have a superior Hispanic culture. Well, where's the Hispanic unity? I see y'all dancing together on a halftime show, and here this dude is, we all the same. No, we're literally not the same. If we were the same, you speak Spanish, I don't speak Spanish. That's already a difference. Not saying that I'm better or you're better, but to say that we're the same, it's like, dude, you don't got a lie to kick it. Let's go back and then what's up with all of this energy, right? He's mad at us for not supporting Bad Bunny's halftime show, but he has more smoke for us than the administration that's demonizing dude. We just said we don't give a flying flip about it. Y'all niggas hate immigrants. Okay.
Acting like y'all not because what's your favorite art? Leave that to the white people. Leave that to the racist people in the world who our culture, black or brown. We all the same. Y'all don't see what's going on with all Hispanic people? They going through ICE and look, all that crazy racism she went through, they going through it right now.
I'm not Hispanic, so you already lost me there. We're not all the same. And why are you only bringing up Hispanic deportations? I've already laid out, and y'all don't have to take my word for it. Look it up. The African and Caribbean immigration combined under Biden wasn't even 7%. And they represent over 30% of the deportations. But nobody is saying, but per capita, that's a disproportionate number compared to the minuscule demographic size, right? But why, when they talk about deportations, why are they only saying, look how they're treating Latinos? They're not only deporting Latinos. Why aren't you talking about the African Caribbean people who are being deported at a disproportionately higher rate than them? All they're saying is come together with the Hispanics who look like Bad Bunny. No, what about the people that look like out of BCs, right? So yeah, bro, all this is just to go get the FBAs to crash out for Hispanics who's going to come over here and say, I know black, you're lazy. You know, you didn't work hard enough.
To the halftime show acting like y'all not because what's your favorite art? Leave that to the white people. Leave that to the racist people in the world who our culture, black or brown. We all the same. Y'all don't see what's going on with all Hispanic people? They going through ICE and look, all that crazy racism she went through, they going through it right now. Right now, we got to support them more than ever. And if that means going to a time show and dancing to...
Bruh.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
What? How please?
Nigga, please.
How?
Nigga, what?
Nigga. Nigga, please.
Nigga, please.
What?
What the fuck is this nigga talking about? We gotta support them more than ever? How and why? Why would I support them more than ever when this is what they voted for? Who am I to go against the will of the people? No, their community voted for this. Now, they can say they didn't think that the deportations would go like this, but this is what they wanted. If you look at the polling, whether you believe it or not, many people are saying that they still support deportations. They just want it done in a cuter, cuddlier, more sanitized manner because there wasn't this much outrage under Obama. Yeah, they did coin terms like the deporter in chief for the massive amount of peoples that he deported, but there weren't these protests, these no kings and the ice out and things like that. So yeah, bro, this tis the season to hold your own nuts. We've already crashed out for a bunch of people, and realistically, we don't mind crashing out again. I mean, we invented the term crash out. We are the epitome of crash out. This is why people make a stereotypical trope that you have low impulse control. Yeah, that means we're prone to crash out, right? So we don't have an issue being out there, but what are we going out there for? We're going out there on the front line to risk ourselves for many people who see us as less than, for many people who are anti-black, and this is not every minority group, this is not every Latino or every non-black person. The thing is, it's a significant amount, and there's pretty much no one publicly in their community calling it out. See, unfortunately, we will have to call it out. And then it turns into, hey, you guys hate this demographic. Like, nah, we don't come up with these little slurs and things like that for these other groups while still trying to emulate and be entrenched in their culture. You look at a bunch of Hispanics now, they're saying nigga, 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 nigga more than any black person you know. We all the same. So why you calling me pinche mayate? I don't have terms like that for you. And all the terms that are the slurs, we didn't come up with them. So you're mad at the person who didn't come up with any slurs for you, that didn't enslave you, that didn't colonize you, right? They say we had to flee because of U.S. imperialism. That wasn't us. That was private military industrial complex. So why? What? You don't have a slur for them, but you have a slur for the mayates who you say have no power. I mean, how cowardly is that? How do you say cowardly in Espanol? Let's get back into it.
And I'm disappointed in all you. I'm disappointed in you. Y'all corny ass lame reactions to the halftime show acting like y'all not because what's your favorite art. Leave that to the white people. Leave that to the racist people in the world who our culture, black or brown. We all the same. Y'all don't see what's going on with all Hispanic people? They going through ICE and look, all that crazy racism you went through, they going through it right now. Right now, we got to support them more than ever. And if that means going to a time show and dancing to some lyrics, then do it. But don't be corny acting like you ain't me. I'll have halftime show, and y'all need to do better as a culture and as a people. Y'all want people to help us, but we don't want to help everybody else. And they support us too. Do better.
I am very disappointed in the black community today. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm more disappointed in the black community today than I am with the whites, because at least the whites are predictable. You know what I'm saying? Like they're behaving the way that they're supposed to behave. Typical, racist.
Bro, you are white. Like, what are you talking about? What race is this dude? He's Latino. Yeah, there's no race called Latino. So what race is this dude again? Oh, maybe he's Asian. I'll assume that. Maybe he's Asian. Why you ain't talking to your Asian community? Maybe he's not Asian. So if he's not Asian and he's not black, what race is he? He's Hispanic. There's no race called Hispanic. So yeah, it's like people try to play these race, ethnicity, and nationality games when it's kind of suits their narrative. It's like, dude, who are you to try to be disappointed with the black community, bro? You're not black. Worry about your own community. Worry about the W community, which he is a part of. He's not no Afro-Latino. So like, what race is he?
Black community today. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm more disappointed in the black community today than I am with the whites, because at least the whites are predictable. You know what I'm saying? Like they're behaving the way that they're supposed to behave. Typical, racist, hateful, for no reason. That's them. But just because Bad Bunny performed the Super Bowl halftime show today, that wasn't your cue, black people, to jump in the comments and start writing hateful and racist things against a man that is an artist who is probably.
Can someone cue the tiny violin? What racist things were people writing? And how do you know they for sure were black people? And how do you know that they were FBA? We ain't just doing this global flat blackness. Elon showed on Twitter that many times that people with all of this like kind of bigoted commentary, many of them are not even in the country. So, and let's just say he saw 100 bigoted comments from black people. There's millions and millions and millions of black people, but you're going to generalize them based on a handful of comments that you've seen. Well, I've seen a multitude of anti-black commentary from people in his community. Should I generalize the whole community? Y'all know my acronym, Cecil, SESL. Same energy, same logic. Keep the same energy, apply the same logic. Keeping that same energy and applying the same logic, then yeah, his community should get generalized for their, anti-black colorist ideology. So like, just because people didn't want to see Bad Bunny, some people said it was trash, and some people was like, I couldn't understand them. And people said that was for the birds. I couldn't understand them. That was trash. He didn't have nothing on Michael Jackson or Prince. These are people's opinion. You don't have to like it, but people like him are calling that xenophobic, hateful, and racist. How pathetic could you be?
Just because Bad Bunny performed the Super Bowl halftime show today, that wasn't your cue, black people, to jump in the comments and start writing hateful and racist things against a man that is an artist who is probably the highest selling artist at this point, and he is an American citizen. You know what I'm saying? I saw a lot of comments, and y'all love to use these new racial slurs, Mita and Maria and shit like that. I don't know how that's racist. I don't know how that's supposed to be offensive to us, but I mean, it's really not. But
I've never heard any black person say that. Now, if we are referring to, like, let's say a Latina woman, people may say Maria, right? Just like for a black chick, people may say Keisha. And for a white chick, it may be Karen or Becky. You know what I mean? For an Asian chick, it may be Mai Ling. Or like Austin Powers, fook me and fook you, right? You know what I mean? So if somebody is saying that, is it really a slur? I don't know. Now, the same people that's saying y'all should get over being called nigga and nigger because we heard it in a rap song is now saying someone calling a Hispanic person Maria is a slur. I mean, I've never heard that. I've heard of Hispanic slurs, and none of them were Maria. Okay.
he is an American citizen. You know what I'm saying? I saw a lot of comments, and y'all love to use these new racial slurs, Mita and Maria and shit like that. I don't know how that's racist. I don't know how that's supposed to be offensive to us, but I mean, it's really not. But all the Mitas and Marias, I know. But yeah, talking about, oh, this ain't no third world country. I mean, English, get them out of here. Bro, blacks, since when is that your game? That's a white man's game. That's not your game. You know, this is why I know for a fact that white people infiltrated Black Lives Matter back in 2020 and turned y'all into some stupid new age woke, you know, I don't know what you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I come from the bottom of the bottom. I come from the project Section 8, you know.
So now he's being hella disrespectful to the community, right? Because someone said something against Bad Bunny. This has nothing to do with the black community. There may have been some individuals allegedly in the black. So did he go to each profile and look and see if they were black? Because not everyone has their profile picture. So he's saying that he went every comment he read, this is a racist one. Here, let me go check. Oh, yep, that's a black person. Racist comment. Here, let me go check the profile. Oh, yep, that's a black person. A lot of people have their profiles on private. So here he goes, and then he's trying to say that we're stupid because we were infiltrated by Black Lives Matter. So was he stupid? You know, because a bunch of people like to say, I marched for George Floyd. Was he stupid for marching? Or is he saying that he didn't march, which means you didn't support us, which would mean if you didn't support us, why the hell would we be supporting Bad Bunny? And if we did support Bad Bunny, how was that supporting the Latino community? It's almost like a bunch of Latinos, they like to say, I supported the black community because I'm the biggest fan of rap. And you know how much rap music I bought? You bought rap music because you love to listen to it and you love to cosplay and tether on to the culture. That's why you bought the music. You didn't say, I love black people so much. These are mi hermanos, and that's why I'm buying this black rap. Y'all went and tried to make y'all own rap and said, y'all want to do this Chicano rap because y'all brought the rap over to us. And we was like, hey, y'all can rap. It's just, that shit is whack, but salute to y'all, mi amigo. And then many of y'all got salty and start trying to do your own thing. And then they get pissed if they don't get the recognition in our culture that they believe that they should have. But if you go to any other people's culture, Yeah, they're not just kind of like groveling and bending the knee to you. They'll accept you as a guest. But these people want to come in and not be a guest and say, no, man, I should have the same privileges as you in your house. It's like, bro, this isn't your house. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's trying to say that we're stupid and we're brainwashed. So we're that fickle and that gullible and naive that some whites could overtake BLM and brainwash us into hating on Bad Bunny in the comments of a social media post. Like, what is this goofball even talking about? And you know what? Hey, it's appropriate. Hey, bruh, I gotta hit you.
You know what, nigga? You acting like a little bitch right now. You acting like a little bitch right now, nigga. Man, fuck that. I ain't letting that shit ride.
That's a white man's game. That's not your game. You know, he is an American citizen. You know what I'm saying? I saw a lot of comments, and y'all love to use these new racial slurs, Mita and Maria and shit like that. I don't know how that's racist. I don't know how that's supposed to be offensive to us, but it's really not. But all the Mitas and Marias I know. But yeah, talking about, this ain't no third world country. I mean, English, get them out of here, bro. Since blacks, since when is that your game? That's a white man's game. That's not your game. You know, this is why I know for a fact that white people infiltrated Black Lives Matter back in 2020 and turned y'all into some stupid, new age, woke, I don't know what you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I come from the bottom of the bottom. I come from the project Section 8, from the dirt, bro, with my...
What does that have to do with anything? I got it out the mud. Yo. Like, no one cares. Then why is he saying stupid and woke? That doesn't even make sense. It's an oxymoron. Being woke means not in the pejorative sense that the MAGA maniacs, the lefty lunatics, and the bigoted bozos co-opted. I'm saying the true essence of where it comes from, the foundational Black American community. Just ask yourself this. What is the opposite of being woke? Being sleep. And when people are asleep, they're known as sheep. Being woke just means that you're enlightened, that you're alert. That's all it literally means. Now I can get deeper, given the Black definition, but that's just the simplified definition. What's wrong with being enlightened? If you're not woke, that means you're unwoke. If you're not woke, that means you're sleep. If you're sleep, you're a sheep and uninformed. So you should be striving to be woke, but instead he's trying to use it as a pejorative. And it's funny because he's calling out Black people saying, y'all acting just like the racist whites. And here he is using rhetoric of racist whites. Y'all acting woke. That's what the racist white dudes be saying. But this dude appears to be a racist white dude. He just doesn't even know it. If he's not white, then what race is he? He's clearly not Black. That's where he's saying the Black community and y'all this and y'all that. He don't look Asian to me. He does look white though.
This is why I know for a fact that white people infiltrated Black Lives Matter back in 2020 and turned y'all into some stupid, new age, woke, I don't know what you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I come from the bottom of the bottom. I come from the project Section 8, from the dirt, bro, with my Black brothers. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with nothing but...
Hey, and salute to the chat. The chat has been moving it, so I apologize. I haven't been able to engage with it as much as I like to, but I did see the hood table slid through. So salute to her. And then China King, I think this is your first time over here, so salute to China King. She says they're crashing out because we're not running to play the hero. And this is a new reality, right? People are used to seeing us be the political doormat where somebody steps in some dog poo and it's like, hey, just go wipe it off on the Black doormat so you can clean your shoes, wiping all your crap on the Black doormat. And we've been all inclusive because we've been trying to carry the burden for everyone else. Oh, they're marginalized just like us. Oh, they have melanin, so they're people of color just like us. So we've been trying to be all inclusive, thinking that it would lead to some sort of minority marginalized group coalition. But all it's led to is that people just use our pain and plight to advance their interests. And then they turn around and say, you niggas is lazy. You know, why y'all can't do it like we did? Like, huh? You got that off the backs of us. Plus, I thought we was working in unison. I thought we were, you know, collaborating. See, we come to the table to collaborate. Others come to the table to compete. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with competition, but just let it be known up front. Don't try to pretend like we're all in this coalition together, because if we're in a coalition, we're not really competing. We're coalescing, we're colluding towards the same goal. But if we're competing, that means you're trying to win. What are you trying to win over me, right? If we're competing, that means you're trying to dominate. Like, what are you trying to dominate me for and why? And if that's the case, just say it up front. Don't try to act like this is if we're in a race, let's just call it a race. So, you know, when they say runners take your mark, ready, set, go. Don't just take off running. And then once you're halfway down the block, I'm racing you. Huh? I didn't know this was a race. Let's just have a race so we can start at the blocks. But, you know, people try to play these games, pretending as if they want to build a coalition, but they don't. Unfortunately, many groups, you know, just want to kind of use us as voter mules and political issue mules. You know, here, you know, let the blacks be the crash out dummies and we come and reap the benefits. Those days are over.
You know, this is why I know for a fact that white people infiltrated Black Lives Matter back in 2020 and turned y'all into some stupid new age woke, you know, I don't know what you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I come from the bottom of the bottom. I come from the project, Section 8, from the dirt, bro, with my black brothers. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with nothing but blacks and Hispanics. And at the end of the day, we all piece of the pie. Y'all gotta stop this fake war that y'all got against us. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, your problem is not with all Hispanics. Your problem is with the...
Do y'all hear this fool? He's saying your problem is not with all Hispanics, but he just generalized all blacks. Like, bro, what are you talking about? Then he's saying there's a war against them because somebody made some disparaging or tongue-in-cheek comments about Bad Bunny. Like, bro, if you want to get, I don't know, maybe he want to get, you know, he want to get banged by Benito. Hey, if that's your cup of tea, go do your thing, man. I know he's a popular trending dude because this sounds like a little bit of a love affair. Like, bro, get his nuts out your mouth. Why are you caping and crashing out for Bad Bunny? Bad Bunny has security, millions of dollars. He's set for life. But if someone criticizes his performance because they didn't like it, how is that an attack on Hispanics, right? So because somebody doesn't like Bad Bunny's Puerto Rican performance, somehow that's an attack on Mexicans? What the hell is this dude talking about?
You know, this is why I know for a fact that white people infiltrated Black Lives Matter back in 2020 and turned y'all into some stupid new age woke, you know, I don't know what you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I come from the bottom of the bottom. I come from the project, Section 8, from the dirt, bro, with my black brothers. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with nothing but blacks and Hispanics. And at the end of the day, we all piece of the pie. Y'all gotta stop this fake war that y'all got against us. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, your problem is not with all Hispanics. Your problem is with the J-Lo Hispanics, the ones that want to be Hispanic when it benefits them, but they're white 90% of the time, and they move to like white hoods like Connecticut and fucking Pennsylvania, and they think that they're better than they think that.
You heard what he just said. They think they're white 90% of the time, and the other 10% of the time they're talking about, I'm Afro-Latina. I got a abuela somewhere in their long distance past. So he's already saying that literally Latino and Hispanic is not a race, because people will say that they're white when it benefits them, and they'll say that they're Latino when they benefits them, i.e. someone like Fat Joe. There's no race called Latino. But what race is Fat Joe? He got arrested. They had to list his race. It was a W. But Fat Joe, I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up around niggas, nigga, and that's why I say nigga so much, nigga. Huh? Fat Joe, Lily W. Fat Joe saying he didn't know that. I thought I was black. You never looked in the mirror, Fat Joe? Like, okay, bruh. There was never any documentation. When they had documentation, you have to check a box, Fat Joe. There's a box you have to check. And you know you didn't check the black one. But some people are convinced that Fat Joe was Afro-Latino. Where's the Afro?
Woke, you know, I don't know what the, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I come from the bottom of the bottom. I come from the project, Section 8, from, you know, from the dirt, bro, with my black brothers. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with nothing but blacks and Hispanics. And at the end of the day, we all piece of the pie. Y'all gotta stop this fake war that.
So Mega says race is a competition. I concur, right? What do you do in a race? You try to compete, you try to win. Now, you could get in a race and say, hey, let's all run the same speed and we'll cross the finish line at the same time and we'll all be winners. In a perfect utopia, that's what it would be, how it could be, and how some would say how it should be. But in reality, it's a competition, and it's okay to have a competition. What is not okay is to lie and say, what competition? Bro, you're tripping. Like, you're delusional. There's no competition. And then behind the scenes, you're working to dominate someone because you're competing with them. That's a bit cowardly. If we're competing, then let's compete straight up. Don't say, hey, bro, do you want to fight me? No, bro, we're cool. I do not want to fight you. Okay, I'm gonna walk home. And then you snake me from behind. You know, you hit me with a brick from behind. Hey, I thought we didn't have no beef. Because if we did, I would have never turned around. I just would have, took off on you. But they say there's no honor among thieves, or like the professor, Black Truth, says, there's no honor among sleaze. Many people come to dominate the black community while extracting resources and pretending, hey, we're just the model minority, or we're just marginalized just like you. We're not here to compete with you. We love you. They love us so much as they believe that we're in a disenfranchised, dysfunctional state of being. But if we say, hey, you know what? We want to be enfranchised, and instead of dysfunctional, just fully functional and rational, right? That will, upset the apple cart. So if people were really our allies, wouldn't they be striving towards that? If someone had superior culture, wouldn't they say, hey, look, here's my superior culture. Here's how your culture could be superior. Instead, they wag their fingers and say, your culture is bad, mine's is superior, right? I don't know. How is that an ally? Remind me again.
That y'all got against us. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, your problem is not with all Hispanics. Your problem is with the J-Lo Hispanics, the ones that want to be Hispanic when it benefits them, but they're white 90% of the time, and they move to like white hoods like Connecticut and fucking Pennsylvania, and they think that they're better than us. Listen, at the end of the day, all women's hair is better, but y'all got the bigger dicks. What we don't have, you have. What y'all don't have, we have. But we all brothers and sisters at the end of the day. And y'all really shouldn't be hating because Kendrick Lamar and Usher, Beyonce, Death Row, all these black superstars, multi-platinum billionaires, Rihanna, have played the Super Bowl halftime show. And when do we see a Puerto Rican nigga jump on the comments talking about, be performing at the Super Bowl? Y'all really need to stop with the hateful shit, man. The culture has been infiltrated. Seriously. And it's designed to keep us fighting.
A Puerto Rican nigga? Huh?
What did you say, nigga?
So here you have this white Latino dropping an N-bomb. Y'all niggas need to get it together. I grew up around blacks. I mean, since you said nigga, why didn't you just say you grew up around niggas? Isn't that what you want to say? It's like, stay in your lane, bruh. Like, if he said this around me, would have had to give him some Sweet Chin music. Not because I have low impulse control. It's just like you disrespect the entire lineage, generalize us, and then say, we supposed to be brothers, nigga. Huh? So actually, I gotta hit him.
It's so disrespectful for you to say something like that.
Listen, at the end of the day, all women's hair is better, but y'all got the bigger dicks. What we don't have, you have. What y'all don't have, we have. But we.
Huh? What did I just hear? Hold on. Let me rewind that back. What did he say? Why is he talking about other niggas' dicks? Well, that's that white side coming out, right? Just like how whites came up with the term BBC. He's from that lineage. He should have said, y'all got the bigger BBC. What did he say?
Hoods like Connecticut and fucking Pennsylvania, and they think that they're better than us. Listen, at the end of the day, all women's hair is better, but y'all got the bigger dicks. Well, we don't have you.
Huh? Our women's hair is better, but y'all got the bigger.
With that freaky ass shit, nigga. You some freaky ass nigga. Fuck you mean? Get your freaky ass on. You know you freak. With that freaky ass shit, nigga. You some freaky ass nigga. Fuck you mean? Get your freaky ass on. You know you freak.
Why is he worried about niggas' dicks? That kind of. All right, bro. I'm gonna just let it play. That kind of threw me off. This kind of sounded sassy and zesty. Our women's hair is better, and y'all got the big old juicy dick. Like, huh? Like, bro, what? Bro, I gotta hit him.
And I quote, you know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
Back in 2020 and turned y'all into some stupid new age woke, I don't know what the, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I come from the bottom of the bottom. I come from the project section 8, from the dirt, bro, with my black brothers. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with nothing but blacks and Hispanics. And at the end of the day, we all piece of the pie. Y'all gotta stop this fake war that y'all got against us. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, your problem is not with all Hispanics. Your problem is with the J-Lo Hispanics, the ones that want to be Hispanic when it benefits them, but they're white 90% of the time, and they move to like white hoods like Connecticut and fucking Pennsylvania, and they think that they're better than us. Listen, at the end of the day, all women's hair is better, but y'all got the bigger dicks. What we don't have, you have. What y'all don't have, we have. But we all brothers and sisters at the end of the day. And y'all really shouldn't be hating because Kendrick Lamar and Usher, Beyonce, Death Row, all these black superstars, multi-platinum billionaires, Rihanna, have played the Super Bowl halftime show. And when we see a Puerto Rican nigga jump on the comments talking about be performing at the Super Bowl, y'all really need to stop with the hateful shit that the culture has been infiltrated. Seriously, and it's designed to keep us fighting against each other. Stop that shit. Honestly, my stepfather's black. My little brother, my stepbrother, who I don't call my stepbrother, I call him my brother because I love him.
Your stepfather, salute to him. Stepdaddies do matter, and I mean this sincerely. Your stepdaddy is not your biological daddy, so you can't try to vicariously tether onto your stepdaddy's blackness. My stepdaddy's black, and that's why I'm saying nigga. I grew up around blacks, and that's why I'm saying nigga. You're a white Latino, bro, who's worried about niggas having bigger dicks. Okay.
He's black. I have black people in my life. All women's hair is better, but y'all got the bigger dicks. What we don't have, you have. What y'all don't have, we have. But we all brothers and sisters at the end of the day. And y'all really shouldn't be hating because Kendrick Lamar and Usher, Beyonce, Death Row, all these black superstars, multi-platinum billionaires, Rihanna, have played the Super Bowl halftime show. And when we see a Puerto Rican nigga jump on the comments talking about performing at the Super Bowl, y'all really need to stop with the hateful shit that the culture has been infiltrated. Seriously, and it's designed to keep us fighting against each other. Stop that shit. Honestly, my stepfather's black. My little brother, my stepbrother, who I don't call my stepbrother, I call him my brother because I love that nigga like that. He's black. I have black people in my life, bro, that I love, that I'm friends with, that I work with, that I deal with on a regular day. And I know that that's a typical racist thing to say, like, oh, I have black friends. No, I'm really the culture. I'm really the culture, and I'm trying to speak.
No, you're not the culture, bro. You're Latino Puerto Rican culture. That's what he just said. See, this is why we had to delineate, which we're late to the delineation party. And this is why we're calling out the tethers. He's trying to tether on to blackness because his stepdaddy is black who has a black son. I have a stepdaddy, so that makes me black. My stepdaddy says nigga, so I'm saying nigga because I love my stepdaddy and I grew up around blacks. Like, bro, what the hell is he talking about? This is a way where he's shitting on the entire black community, but saying, give me a pass because I am the culture. And I am the culture because I tethered on to the culture from my black stepdaddy. This shit is wild, bruh.
The Super Bowl halftime show, and when you see a Puerto Rican nigga jump on the comments talking about all be performing at the Super Bowl, y'all really need to stop with the hateful shit. That the culture has been infiltrated, seriously, and it's designed to keep us fighting against each other. Stop that shit. Honestly, my stepfather's black. My little brother, my stepbrother, who I don't call my stepbrother, I call him my brother because I love that nigga like that. He's black. I have black people in my life, bro, that I love, that I'm friends with, that I work with, that I deal with on a regular day. And I know that that's a typical racist thing to say, like, oh, I have black friends. No, I'm really the culture. I'm really the culture, and I'm trying to speak out because I.
Yes, sincere. That's why I rewinded it to play it back. So when I give commentary, I try to rewind it back so people could get the full context. He was saying, yeah, we're all brothers, but we have differences. Our women's hair is better, but y'all niggas got bigger dicks. Pause. That's what he said.
Like, I hate the fact that we're fighting each other. I hate the fact that sometimes I walk down 125th and I'm getting evil-eyed. You know what I'm saying? Like stop, bro. Like, at the end of the day, you can believe what you want. You can believe what you want. But we're just, me, you, black, Hispanic, we're just niggas to them. Stop the fool.
I am overly disappointed in black people's response.
Before I get into this dude who looks extremely moist, Mega says tetherology, tethernomics 101. And yeah, we all just niggas to him. No, you see what I'm saying? Like, now they trying to act like our struggle is the same. You know, they see us as niggas, they see y'all as niggas. Show me the group of Latinos that was getting lynched and called nigga. Many of y'all fought to be classified as legally white on the island of Puerto Rico. Many of them identify as racially white, but because they have proximity to some black people, it is like, see, we niggas just like y'all. No, you're not. Fat Joe tries to say the same thing. We all niggas because I grew up in the Bronx. Is Fat Joe gonna get treated the same way as a dark-skinned black dude? No, we know that's not the truth. So it's like, bruh, stop with the lies, bruh. Just because you grew up next to somebody doesn't mean you're going to get treated the same way. But let's see what this little moist moron has to say.
To the Super Bowl. And I'm so disappointed at how black people are responding, given that we needed moments like those. We understand what needing a moment and having a moment feels like. So when another minority community.
Nigga, what the fuck are you talking about? A moment like what? A Super Bowl performance? We had the moment and Michael Jackson did it and it was better than Bad Bunny. Shout out to Bad Bunny. Salute to bro, right? I wish him all the prosperity. We've had our moments. So like, and we've had moment after moment after moment because we are the pulse. We are the culture here. I mean, this is irrefutable, which is why so many people, it's often imitated, never duplicated. So I don't really know what this nigga is talking about. That, man, they just trying to have a moment. They've had multiple moments. Ricky Martin, Enrique Iglesias, Shakira, J-Lo. Like, why are we trying to pretend as if Bad Bunny is doing something that's never been seen before the Latino artist? This is some recency bias. He's the trending artist right now. Yeah, that doesn't really mean anything. Is he the best Latino artist of all time? No, not even close. So I don't really get why people expect us to bend the knee and owe allegiance to Bad Bunny, right? It doesn't even matter. People support the Latino community all of the time. Hiring them, to do odd jobs, construction, eating burritos and tacos. Some people like the elote and suckers and stuff. That's supporting the Latino community. Watching a Bad Bunny halftime show, how is that supporting the Latino community? It's really not. It's a symbolic gesture, i.e. a nothing burger.
Given that we needed moments like those. We understand what needing a moment and having a moment feels like. So when another minority community has a moment, why are we not celebrating that? Why would we not celebrate another minority community having a moment? It just feels hella selfish. A lot of you.
Oh my goodness. And you know what? I thought I was only going to have to do it once, but it appears I might have to hit multiple people tonight.
You know what, nigga? You acting like a little bitch right now. You acting like a little bitch right now, nigga. Man, fuck that. I ain't letting that shit ride.
And like Miss Jones says in the chat, like, cry me a river. What are we talking about? All minorities matter, so we have to stand up for the other minorities. No, they're already being stood up for, right? We've been standing up for so many people that we're going to be a minority in the country because we've been pushing the come one, come all, give us your sick, your poor. And when they do, they say, hey, don't bring them immigrants over here. Don't bring them to Martha's Vineyard. Don't bring them to a Lily W community. Hey, guess where you could drop the immigrants? Go drop them where the niggas at. Oh, but they're poor and they're flinging gang violence. Don't worry. We have NGOs and plenty of government resources that will give them to displace them, and we'll label them a model minority, say they pulled themselves up by their bootstrap and they only came here with $2. Notice they never finished that story. They only came here with $2. They came over here with $2 and was given $20,000 by Gavin Newsom. Okay, so does it really matter that they came here for, with $2? And yeah, that may not be all of them. It's enough of them, right? You can't say that story that's happening with 0 citizens right now in California. If you're an immigrant and you were afraid to go to work because of the ICE raids, they'll give you cash assistance, right? No reparations for the niggers, but for immigrants, they're scared. They came here illegally. Now they're scared. Give them money. You can't throw money at the problem unless they're an immigrant. Karen Bass is saying, hey, look, we know that you're scared. So we're going to give y'all some money and we're going to pay for your lawyer. They did a $50 million fund just for immigrants, right? I got nothing against immigrants, but how is that America first or American exceptionalism? Sounds like immigrant first and immigrant exceptionalism. Hey, which is fine. It's just when we call it out for what it is, just don't pee on someone's leg and tell them it's raining.
Guys' perspective on the world is this small. You don't realize it's 20,000 different perspectives around you. The Super Bowl is not just for black people. We've had Usher. We got...
Again, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? Nobody literally there. You won't find any video of a black person saying the Super Bowl just for us. Like, bro, why are you making up straw man arguments to attempt to tear down in a very incoherent fashion, bro? Nobody gives a flying flip that Bad Bunny was performing. Many people, like I said, they was getting these seafood boils and eating them. Some people said, hey, let me go get a little quickie. Hey, let me take my girl to the back and hit it from the bike during halftime. Like, people were doing a lot of stuff during halftime. It wasn't because they hated Latinos and Bad Bunny. It wasn't because they wasn't standing up for minorities. Like, bruh, this dude is getting on my nerves. Shit. Damn near more than the white Latino dude.
Why are we not celebrating that? Why would we not celebrate another minority community?
Because we don't have to. Another thing that he said too, he was saying that there's so many other perspectives, right? So if there's so many other perspectives, why won't he accept other people's perspective? He has his perspective that Bad Bunny is the best thing since sliced bread, and other people thought he was trash. Basura. That's their perspective. You don't need to try to give a little TikTok tirade to try to say, y'all need to feel like me because your worldview is so small. So what, we should be all thinking like you, little moist moron? No.
We understand what needing a moment and having a moment feels like. So when another minority community has a moment, why are we not celebrating that? Why would we not celebrate another minority community having a moment? It just feels hella selfish. A lot of you guys' perspective on the world is this small. You don't realize it's 20,000 different perspectives around you. The Super Bowl is not just for Black people.
Nobody ever said it was. And and shout out to the Bill of Rights said, we're trying to help each other. And this is what people always do. Imagine you're cleaning your house and then somebody say, yeah, but the neighbor's house is dirty. So then you go and help the neighbor clean the house. Oh yeah, but so-and-so down the block, their house is dirty. So you stop cleaning your house and go helping them. Oh, don't forget about so-and-so. They in, Tijuana, Mexico. So you take a flight to Mexico and help them to clean their house. And then after you've helped all these people come clean their house, which is spick and span, guess what you come home to? A dirty house. And then when you try to call people, you know what I mean? Hey, this number has been disconnected, right? Everyone else's house is clean and you there with a disgusting house. And then you think those other people are going to say that you helped them clean their house, or are they going to say, hey, your house is just dirty? Why it can't be clean like us? They're not going to mention that you helped them. So if we're so low IQ, our culture is so degenerate, it's so violent, what about Black on Black crime? Okay, well then we don't need to be focusing on halftime shows. We don't need to be focused on ICE. We need to clean up the filth, the degeneracy, and we need to minimize and do things to mitigate the Black on Black crime. How the hell am I going to do that? By watching the Super Bowl halftime show. How the hell am I going to help my community by going and crashing out for ICE? Which one do y'all want, right? Y'all talk about that the kids can't read. So how is crashing out for ICE gonna help my kids read? So yeah, we have to help each other first and foremost. When this plane is about to crash and you reach over to the oxygen mask, do they say, hey, if you see your neighbor over there, hand the oxygen mask to your neighbor? Is that what they say? Or do they say put the oxygen mask on yourself first? So we need to take care of each other first so that we have enough energy and enough economic wherewithal to help other people. If we're allegedly broke with a low IQ, can't read, and lazy, yeah, we got to do something to address that, right? You don't address your laziness by watching halftime shows. So yeah, so I don't really get this whole thing where people have all of these little racial stereotypical tropes about us. And then we say, you know what? You're actually all right. We do need to clean up our community. So that's why we can't help y'all. Y'all got to go hold y'all nuts. I'm too busy cleaning up my community. Isn't that what you wanted?
It just feels hella selfish. A lot of you guys' perspective on the world is this small. You don't realize it's 20,000 different perspectives around you. The Super Bowl is not just for Black people.
Yes, Bad Bunny has been known to wear dresses. Some role model for your son.
We had Usher. We got Rihanna. We got Kendrick Lamar last year. And when Kendrick Lamar was doing all that symbolic stuff about America, you know what white people were saying? Oh, I don't understand that. That was just, and we was defending that because he was putting on.
I never was, bro, speak for yourself, bro. But shout out to Shakira. I love Shakira. Shakira is amazing.
We got Rihanna. We got Kendrick Lamar last year. And when Kendrick Lamar was doing all that symbolic stuff about America, you know what white people were saying? Oh, I don't understand that. That was just, and we was
what we like is not dictated by white people. I get it, bro. Like, you probably worship whiteness, but like, we don't care. We already knew that the white people were going to hate on Kendrick's performance, and we still said it was fire. White people hated on rap. Remember, we're not against rap. We're not against rappers, but we are against those thugs, right? So yeah, our music, our cultural relevancy is not predicated on what white people think, bruh. And that's how you know that this dude is a kind of moist, misguided moron.
Kendrick Lamar last year. And when Kendrick Lamar was doing all that symbolic stuff about America, you know what white people were saying? Oh, I don't understand that. That was just, and we was defending that because he was putting on. So, if anything, black people should understand what it's like to have a moment. And for y'all to get up here and diss Bad Bunny and diss the whole Super Bowl because you don't know Spanish is fake to me.
Now, bro, why are you lying, bro? Show me one video of people dissing the whole Super Bowl. Literally nobody was doing that except for the MAGA maniacs who are clearly not black. And the ones that are MAGA maniacs that are black, we call them Sambos, raccoons, and tethers. So what the hell is this dude talking about? He's just sitting up here lying, trying to make a viral video, attacking and lying on the black community. Nigga, sit your moist ass down.
Black people should understand what it's like to have a moment. And for y'all to get up here and diss Bad Bunny and diss the whole Super Bowl because you don't know Spanish is fake to me. I feel like minority to minority, struggle to struggle.
Nigga, if it's fake, why are you doing a rant about it? You did a real rant about some fake outrage? Do you hear yourself? And here he keeps talking about this minority talk. These other groups don't use the term minority unless they want to attach it to black people. Yeah, the black people went through this, so dole out resources to minorities. Black people are disproportionately getting killed by the police, disproportionately stopped during stop and frisk, have these disproportionate outcomes. And the way that we'll rectify that is giving something to minorities, marginalized groups, and overlooked people. But how does that help the black community? Well, you're part of an overlooked group, so this is for overlooked people. Okay, cool. So are we first on the list? Oh, no, you're last on a group of overlooked people, and you're last on the minority list, and you're last on the marginalized groups. So it's like, why were you saying black people shot, black people killed, black this, black that, black that? Here, we're going to cut a check for minorities, excluding the blacks.
Black people should understand what it's like to have a moment. And for y'all to get up here and diss Bad Bunny and diss the whole Super Bowl because you don't know Spanish is fake to me. I feel like minority to minority, struggle to struggle, Hispanics and black people are very similar in a lot of ways. Not saying we're the same, not saying we went through the same things, but we're very similar.
Bro, why are you even saying that, bruh? Asians and whites are very similar, but what is the point of saying that? Literally doesn't make any sense. Which Hispanics are very similar, right? Are you talking about the black Brazilians? Are you talking about the white Mexicans? Are you talking about the mixed Venezuelans? Are you talking about who? He's just saying Hispanic, Latino. Which one? There's no race called Latino or Hispanic. But this is the whole point of having these kind of nebulous ethnic groups that, you know, people can just kind of glom, tether, and leech onto and discard at any moment. Hey, I feel like checking the white box. I feel like checking the Hispanic box. Like, okay, I'm black all the time. Wake up black, go to sleep black. Born black, die black. It's not born black, check Hispanic box, die mixed, you know, live as a white person. It's not that. We're not all over the place with our lineage. Many of these people are confused, and this dude clearly is. He's just all over the place.
Bad Bunny and diss the whole Super Bowl because you don't know Spanish is fake to me. I feel like minority to minority, struggle to struggle, Hispanics and black people are very similar in a lot of ways. Not saying we're the same, not saying we went through the same things, but we're very similar. And it's just like, y'all, like, we creating this whole divide, like, oh, I don't understand that. That's like, we're acting like white people. We're acting like the white people when
Are you fucking kidding me, bruh? First of all, what race is Bad Bunny? He's Latino. Yeah, but I asked what race is he? He's Hispanic. I asked what race is Bad Bunny. You saying we're acting like white people? Bad Bunny is a white Latino, right? I know people are trying to emphasize on the Latino, but yeah, there's no race called Latino. So we want to be very accurate. So what race is he? So he's trying to say we're acting like white people, so we're acting like Bad Bunny's people, right?
Not saying we're the same, not saying we went through the same things, but we're very similar. And it's just like, y'all, like, we creating this whole divide, like, oh, I don't understand that. That's like, we're acting like white people. We're acting like the white people when black people get up on stage and do something and white people respond that way. We're responding the same way when Bad Bunny did this thing. We're responding the same way the white people respond to us. Like, black people are really claiming Super Bowl like, this isn't American football. Nigga, this ain't for you. You really the Super Bowl ain't for us. And you really, y'all have adopted this mindset like the Super Bowl is for.
Man, this dude is getting super insufferable. So he's saying the Super Bowl is not for us, but we're similar to Hispanics. So is it for them and not for us? And if it's not for us, then how are we in the same boat? So the Super Bowl is for them, but not for us. If it's not for us and it's not for them, then who is it for? And if it's not for them, why did they get Bad Bunny? This shit don't make any sense. And he's trying to say it's not for y'all, but y'all still need to be cheering and caping and crashing out as if it was for y'all. If it's not for me, then cool. I'll exit stage left. No, man. Y'all niggas is being funny and xenophobic, and why y'all hate immigrants and what's up with the racial divide? Because I chose to go get a beer when the halftime show was performing, or a dude went to go get some quick head when the halftime show was performing. Suddenly now you hate Bad Bunny and Latinos? What the fuck is this moist nigga talking about?
We're responding the same way when Bad Bunny did this thing. We're responding the same way the white people respond to us. Like, black people are really claiming Super Bowl like, this isn't American football. Nigga, this ain't for you. You really
It seemed like the Latinos is claiming the Super Bowl, right? Saying, oh my God, it was so good. John Leguizamo, Ana Navarro crying, saying how beautiful it was. But I thought it wasn't for them. He's saying it was for the whites. Well, are Latinos white or not? And if they're not white and it wasn't for them, why are they so ecstatic about this? And if they're ecstatic, why does it matter what black people think? If Bad Bunny put on a show for Latinos and Latinos are happy about it, why does it matter what black people think again? This sounds like victimhood. And who has been victimized? Bad Bunny is not a victim. What Latino has been victimized by some black people not liking the performance? It was way more white people who didn't like the performance. But hey, let's focus on the black people who we don't even accurately know if they were black people. Let's focus on the negative comments that they say. When I went to Shade Room, all I seen was positive comments. Many of the outlets that were posting them in the spaces that black people predominantly congregate, I've seen glowing reviews, almost too glowing, as if it was pandering. But hey, I'm not a hater. I let people have their perspective. But he found a handful of people who didn't like it, and now he's trying to generalize the whole black community. How pathetic could you be?
We're responding the same way when Bad Bunny did this thing. We're responding the same way the white people respond to us. Like, black people are really claiming Super Bowl like, this isn't American football. Nigga, this ain't for you. You really the Super Bowl ain't for us. And you really, y'all have adopted this mindset Like the Super Bowl is for black people. It's not. Do you know the people that own the Super Bowl, the NFL? None of them are black. They do this for money. They don't care about you. So for you to claim American football, claim this is not the football I know. It's not, because it's not for you, gang. I'm disappointed in a lot of y'all.
Now, this is the part I despise. It's 50 million foundational black Americans in this country. You guys go online and see some black people say some stuff that you don't like, and you come online and attribute that to the whole community. You guys already been feeling this way because this is the way that your people talk. I know. This is the way that your people talk. This is the way that they already talk about us. So now, because you seen some people say some disparaging things maybe about them, right? FBA is a lineage. Everybody ain't the same. We can't control what everybody say, but you come out here and say the black community and black people. No, my whole thing is y'all say a whole bunch of stuff. I come online all the time and say, yo, don't talk about them people. Stay on FBA business.
Another cowardly thing too, if you're on social media, everyone has a smartphone now. Why didn't you you could screenshot and screen record just as well as I'm sharing this video and I can pull up whatever y'all want me to in real time? Why didn't he share the comments that were so offensive? Same thing with the other dude earlier, the yo white Latino who's saying that he's black because his stepdad is black, right? Where are the receipts? Instead, he talks about these alleged bigoted comments. Why didn't you screenshot it and put it on the screen? Or why he didn't just read verbatim what it said? Instead, he just talks about some mythical, bigoted, racist comments towards Bad Bunny that nobody even knows if they were legit or not. Where's the receipts? This is the information age and the digital age. Where's the receipts?
I don't go and just denigrate the whole Latino community. I tell my people stay on FBA business, right? FBA business. But what I'm noticing now, when somebody say something that y'all don't like, y'all blame all black people. So then you say we acting like the W man, but no, y'all acting like the W man. I don't have no videos saying nothing about Bad Bunny. So why? And there's a whole bunch of people that ain't saying nothing about Bad Bunny. It ain't our business. He doing his thing, right? That's what he doing. So how you come online and just denigrate and ridicule the whole black community, 50 million black people? Because that's what y'all do. Because you listen. It's funny how y'all come on here and say this, and now you say we all black. But at the end of the day, the way you treat your black folks, the way you treat your black Puerto Ricans and your other black Latinos, they been talking like this.
I will always support African Americans in wanting to gatekeep their culture because the erasure is real. Gatekeep hip hop, gatekeep R&B, gatekeep your culture, period. As an Afro-Latina, trust me, I know firsthand the erasure is real. For context, Latino music such as reggaeton, salsa, bachata, just to name a few, are historically Black Latino music. They have their roots in Black Latinidad. And as a result, the artists that used to have the biggest impact and largest visibility in these genres were Black Latino artists. Fast forward to today, the artists with the biggest impact and the largest amount of visibility in these genres are white Latino artists. It's so bad that they have started to play in our faces. They gave J Balvin about 2 years ago Afro-Latino Music Artist of the Year award. This conquistador Cruz, this direct descendant of Christopher Columbus, accepted and was awarded Afro-Latino Music Artist of the Year award. I will never let this go. Now, I'm not saying we don't have Afro-Latinos that are very, popular today still in these music genres, as we should, but they do not have the impact nor the visibility that the white Latino artists in these genres have began to receive. It has gotten so bad that there are now Spaniards winning Latino Music Artist Awards. Spaniards. And it's honestly just so sad to see like the erasure in real time. Like our
And shout out to this sister, muy hermosa, bonita, Afro-Latina. And salute to the Florida fam, sunshine. My bad, I messed it up. Sunlight from the Sunshine State, shining bright like a diamond in the building. Salute to that Florida fam. Florida?
Artist Awards. Spaniards. And it's honestly just so sad to see like the erasure in real time. Like our music, like we had salsa songs that would sing about, you know, the impact of slavery in Latin America. We used to have music that would sing about and talk about the beauty of Black Latina women. None of that exists anymore for the most part. So yeah, gatekeep.
I think the craziest experience about being an
And let me highlight the beauty of the Black Latina women, of the Black women in general, but specifically this was talking about the Latina women, because there is a form of the erasure because they want to highlight the lighter, brighter, and whiter Latinas. So the Black Latinas, because there's no race called Latino, there's no race called Hispanic. So the woman who just spoke was a Latina and a Hispanic. This woman speaking now, Latina, Hispanic, but people have this caricature and this vision of what they think a Latina is, and it's usually a white Latina that you've seen on Univision or Telemundo, right? But no, there's no race called Latino, and these women are just as Latin as anyone else. They're just as Latin as J-Lo, AOC. What's the difference? It's a social construct. So how could you say that they're not?
Have music that would sing about and talk about the beauty of Black Latina women. None of that exists anymore for the most part. So yeah, gatekeep.
I think the craziest experience about being an Afro-Latina in the state is when other Latinos tell you that you're not Latina. Recently, this person was going back and forth with me about how I don't look Latina. And I kept explaining to them like how there's Black people in Latin America, you know, and how in Latin America, Latinos are very diverse. Like we don't all look the same. Like we grew up with different races who are also Latinos. But to be like, no, you're not. You don't look Latina and you don't speak Spanish. How do you know I don't speak Spanish? And then on top of that, you're not familiar with how diverse Latin America is. So it's like, get the pass.
So we're always the focal point, and they want to come at us and put down a whole group of people for some stuff that you've seen online. So what this guy over here do, this girl over here do, what they do is just all Black people. We just under one umbrella. Y'all no different than the W man, right? No different than the W man. But then we point this out. Afro-Latinos always been searching for their identity within the Latino community, within that Latino ethnic group. No, y'all crap on them too. Y'all don't accept them. Y'all don't accept them, right? It's I was doing videos where I was showing these Latinos calling you guys out for being the racist that you are, and you're proving it now. Because like I said, okay, there's some FBAs online that's displeased with what they saw. They got a right to have their opinion, but what you don't have a right to do is come out and denigrate the whole Black community for that. Then you're no different than the W man, because we're not obligated to do anything for you. We're not obligated to come out and cheer for you if we don't want to. We're not obligated to do that, right? But Latinos, there's been Latinos that's been 10 toes down, that's been exposing y'all racism for years.
Since my videos keep getting taken down when I call out my own people, let's try this. To my Latinos, particularly my Mexican people, when you push your internalized racism onto people who are darker than us, you are doing the work of the colonizer. Just because you're a lighter shade of brown doesn't give you any favor with the palm-colored people. They will smile in your face while you clean and build their homes, landscape their yards, watch their children, and work in their fields. Land that they stole from us, by the way. And then behind your backs, they turn around and say that you're lazy, just want handouts, contribute to poverty. They call you drug dealers and murderers. They complain that you're stealing their jobs, yet these are the jobs that they don't want to do themselves. They make you work 20 times as hard to earn the same they got for working 20 times less as hard. They pay you wages, make you work in subpar working conditions, and don't give you any kind of health benefits. If you think you're gaining favor with them by pushing your internalized racism onto our Afro-Mexicans, our Afro-Indigenous, our Afro-Latinos, and our Black Americans, you are sadly mistaken. They don't care about you, and they never will. So stop trying to kiss their asses as if they are. They give you just enough so that way you can destroy your own people while they sit in the corner laughing, knowing that you are doing the hard work for them, while they reap all the benefits, and you get very little in return. You are being used and exploited, and they will never see you more than just another brown person. Remember that when you think you're superior to somebody who is darker than you.
So that's already Latinos exposing the stuff that go on behind closed doors with these racist Latinos, right? We are stuff that we already know, stuff that I've been talking about for years. I've been exposing and uncovering for years. I've told you guys the stories, right? So this stuff is nothing new. It's nothing new. But the thing is, you got MAGA and Piers Morgan and all these W folks going on every news publication they can, right? Every news station they can to call this stuff out and voice their displeasure and talk about how there's 300-something million W folks in this country, right? And they feel like they're being overlooked and marginalized. And they feel like Jay-Z is a DEI hire. And they're upset. And guess what? The Puerto Ricans are saying nothing. These other Latinos are saying nothing because they know that ICE is out there watching. And ICE is waiting for one of y'all to say something so they can get y'all up out of here. That's why they're not saying nothing, right? So the low-hanging fruit is black people. You just come after us, right? And that's why we're tired of it. But they're talking like this.
I'm sorry, Piers, but to get up there and perform the whole show in Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives a damn that we have 40 million Spanish speakers in the United States? We have 310 million who don't speak a lick of Spanish. This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos, not for one small group, but for the country. We don't need a black national anthem. We don't need a Spanish-speaking, non-English performer, and we don't need an ICE or America hater featured as our primetime entertainment.
And before I come in, so this person, you seem like a troll. I don't think that you're a true supporter. I don't think that you're subscribed to me. But you said Central America. Do you mean Central America? Central America people, South American and Caribbean people are not Latino. Please, stop the false propaganda. Huh? Do I gotta do it or do I gotta do it? Do I have to do it or do I have to do it? Let me just do this real quick. And then after that, if you make another idiotic comment, I might just have to get you up out of here. What does that say? Yes. C. Central, South, and Caribbean Latinos are part of the broader Latin America. So if they're part of Latin America, how are they not Latino again? Hispanic is from Spain, not Latinos. Latinos are not from Spain. Only European or Latino, like, bruh. Do you even know what you're talking about? Latin America generally includes Mexico and Central America, South America, the Caribbean. Latin America, i.e. Latino. What the hell are you talking about, bruh? But let's just get back into the video, man. You can call yourself whatever you want. Latino, Hispanic, alien, undocumented alien, documented alien. Call yourself whatever you want, bruh. I don't really care. It's not your term anyways. You didn't come up with the term, so you don't really have much authority over that term, unfortunately.
Okay, what is the national language, officially the national language of the United States of America?
I mean, English. And there's been a push for many years to make it an official.
You don't have one.
Documented thing.
You don't have one.
So it looks like Gabriel, shout out to Gabriel. At least Gabriel is leaning into his Latin lineage. He said we are Latinos because our language comes from Latin. That's what a Latino is. Let me give you the exact definition, right? Since this dude clearly doesn't know what a Latino is. And also there's no race called Latino. Latino, a person of Latin American origin or descent. And this dude is saying, I'm from Latin America, but I ain't a Latino. And the definition of Latino literally means a person of Latin American origin or descent. You're saying that you originate or descend from there, yet you're not Latino? What the, you know what, bruh? You said you're not Latino, but you're from Latin America?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Let me finish my comments. I would have pointed that out, but people have been pushing to make it official.
Okay,
Right,
so
now let
you're
me tell
trying
you
to make
something.
official.
This attitude that you have right here is why you in Great Britain have lost your culture. You ceded your culture to a bunch of radical Muslims who came in and took over, and now it's gone. We're not allowing that here, whether it's Hispanic, whether it's Muslim. It's not happening in the United States of America. That's why President Trump was elected. And whether it's Bad Bunny, who is American but refuses to speak English in his performances, or anybody else, we have to keep the Super Bowl, which is a quintessential American event. Football, that kind of football, is ours. They call it American football.
And what the hell is going on in the chat, bruh? Like, shout out to Gabriel, but like this person saying, you're mixing terms. No, I'm not. Like, what the hell are you dudes talking about? Like, seriously. Do y'all know what the definition of Latino is? I just read off the definition. And you're saying that I'm mixing terms when I'm giving you the exact definition. You didn't create the definition. It's not your term. Latino is not your term. So let's see what the term actually means. This is, and this is from Merriam-Webster's and Oxford, the dictionary. You don't know more than the dictionary. Could y'all read this? Y'all could read it. What is a Latino? What is a Latino? A person of Latin American origin or descent. What terms am I mixing up? I said that this was the definition. What am I mixing up? Do y'all not know what the definition is? Are y'all Latinos? Could y'all read? Okay, cool. I left that up there long enough for y'all to read, so I'm going to pull it down. Damn, man, like, this is wild, bruh. And even then, whether you use Latin or Hispanic, there's no race called Latino, and there's no race called Hispanic. Do I need to pull that up as well?
And the halftime show and everything around it needs to stay quintessentially American, not Spanish, not Muslim, not anything other than good old-fashioned American apple pie. There should be a meatloaf, maybe some fried chicken, and an English-speaking performer. That's what the Super Bowl should be.
Now, MAGA is incensed and they're angry.
Yes, and many people use the terms interchangeably, Hispanic and Latino, and sometimes they're using them wrong. But I gave the accurate and correct definition of what a Latino is. And sometimes people may rightly or wrongly use the term, but many people use the term colloquially, culturally, and just interchangeably. Whether they should or shouldn't, that's a different story. But that's what people do. So shout out to Katie and the people that know what the definition of Latino is.
And they ain't playing. They not mixing words. They not biting their tongue. They coming full steam ahead, and they want smoke with whoever, like whoever, right? But the thing is, there are some Latinos that didn't agree with Bad Bunny, right? And I don't see no Latinos calling these people out, right? There's some Latinos that agree with him, a grown man having that name Bad Bunny, and his lifestyle and things that he talk about, right? They have a problem with that. There are some people out here, and they're also voicing their opinions online. And I don't see you Latinos going after them, but you got all the smoke for us.
Can anyone explain to me why certain Latinos that support Bad?
And before I play the video, Dan Min, whatever your name is, if you keep making these kind of moist maniac comments, I'm gonna have to get you up out of here. Not just because, I care about censorship. It's just because you sound like a little whiny, petulant, pompous little brat who's on her period, bruh. You sound like a little teenage cheerleader having her first period. What are you whining about? Saying I can't just change terms. I didn't change a term. I gave you a definition of a term, which you can't refute. You didn't create the definitions of these terms. You don't even have a profile picture. You're so proud of your lineage and heritage, but you're afraid to show your face. At least create an AI version of your face. So you're calling me Marxist because I pulled up a definition. Is the Webster's Marxist? Is the Merriam Dictionary Marxist? So yeah, bruh, if you don't come with some scholarly comments, if it's just these little whiny hoe comments, bruh, I'm gonna have to get you up out of here, bruh. Like, cause I'm not even monetized. If I was monetized, I wouldn't care, but I'm not getting paid to hear you whine like a little hoe.
Anyone explain to me why certain Latinos that support Bad Bunny expect all Latinos to support Bad Bunny? Don't get me wrong. Yes, I was born here in the United States. I have a Honduran mother and I have a Cuban father. So I'm proud to be Latino. I'm proud of my heritage. But that doesn't mean I have to support Bad Bunny just because I'm Latino. I mean, can someone please let me know all the positive things he's doing? Because I don't see anything positive. I just see a grown man dressing up as a woman and kissing other men on stage while...
Well, if he wants to do that and the NFL is okay with it, fine. Let him kiss and twerk and gyrate on other men. But he did ask a fair question. What is Bad Bunny doing that's so positive, right? I know he did a lot of performative stuff. Hey, there was a wedding at his show. Okay, what does that do for the greater collective of Latinos and Americans in general? Because Bad Bunny's American, right? So what has he truly done? They're saying like he's pushing unity, and I think just unity is overblown. What are we unifying for? I don't mind unifying. I think that we do need more unity, but we need purposeful unity, right? It's like we need to come together to do what, right? Come together and just stare at each other, or come together with a plan, come together and build something, come together and twiddle our thumbs. What are we unifying to do? Oh, don't ask that question. We just need unity. Okay, I'm down with unity, right? But what are we unifying for? No one asked that question. So how serious are you about unity, right? Unify just for the sake of unifying, right? Clan members are unified. Is that the type of unity that we need? Terrorists are unified. Is that the type of unity we need? What purpose are we unifying for? Just come together because we're all Americans. Okay, come together and then what? Say, I'm an American, you're an American, he's an American, we're all Americans. And after that, then what?
So I'm proud to be Latino. I'm proud of my heritage. But that doesn't mean I have to support Bad Bunny just because I'm Latino. I mean, can someone please let me know all the positive things he's doing? Because I don't see anything positive. I just see a.
And I'm not saying that he's not doing anything positive. I'm asking what he is doing positive. And since Suspect, you seem to know a lot about Bad Bunny. So could you share with the chat what Bad Bunny is doing so great for the community? And is he just doing it for the Latino community, or is he doing it for the American community? And is he doing it for the United States of America or for the continent of America? Let me know what he's doing outside of, doing tours and getting paid for it. Salute to him.
Grown man dressing up as a woman and kissing other men on stage while having young men look up to him. And on top of that, he has demon rituals in his videos, in his concert.
Okay, so shout out to Lucretia, right? So what are we unifying for, though? Unifying to fight against ICE? And let's just say everything goes as planned. ICE gets abolished, then what? Police brutality is still going to happen. Like, what exactly are we unifying for? And if people are unifying to abolish ICE, just protesting in the street is not going to make it happen. So if that is the plan, then people need to clearly state, because you need to galvanize people on the purpose that they're unifying for. So if people are unifying to abolish ICE, I think that should be clearly stated. But just unifying to do an empty protest, unified to do a no kings protest. Like, okay, like, how does that help you afford a home, or how does that help you with insurance rates and healthcare and stuff? I'm not against people unifying and organizing. I always say organize, strategize, mobilize. I'm all for that, for whatever issue is pressing to you, especially when it comes to mutual aid, skill sharing, people recycling money within your community, right? I'm all for that. Those things you can do without political and governmental oversight. That is something you can unify here. Let's unify to do this mutual aid event. Let's unify to do a backpack drive, or, a food giveaway, a fish fry. Let's unify and tutor some kids. Let's unify and build a house. Those are clear, tangible things that you have a direction and a purpose. But hey, let's just unify and then we'll figure it out. Let's unify and tear down ICE. Why? They're not going to get rid of ICE, but if they did, they're just going to have ICE by a different name. They'll have ICE, but they won't call them ICE anymore. So what did they really get rid of? So much of this stuff is political theater. I am against a police state and, the government surveillance and all that stuff. But are we unifying to not be in a nanny state, or are we unifying to just tear down ICE? ICE is really the least of our problems. Let's just keep it real. People are being surveilled. People are having their devices illegally wiretapped. People are having their data sent and sold to who knows on the black market. All of these things are more pressing than ICE. Many people don't even have health care, and you want them to go out there and crash out for ICE when some people can't even get their blood pressure medication. So I'm all for organizing and unifying, but for what purpose? Fair questions to ask.
Positive things he's doing, because I don't see any Bad Bunny. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I was born here in the United States. I have a Honduran mother and I have a Cuban father. So I'm proud to be Latino. I'm proud of my heritage. But that doesn't mean I have to support Bad Bunny just because I'm Latino. I mean, can someone please let me know all the positive things he's doing? Because I don't see anything positive. I just see a grown man dressing up as a woman and kissing other men on stage while having young men look up to him. And on top of that, He has demon rituals in his videos, in his concerts. How is that any good?
Yeah, a lot of these people that hate Tom Homan, they didn't say nothing when he was under Obama. He was much more effective under Obama, which is why they called Obama the deporter in chief. Tom Homan was getting them up out of here. Both parties support open borders and both of them support ICE. They flood in the border with millions and millions of people. And then when they deport a few 100,000, they say, see, we're getting them out of here. We're tough on the border and stuff. Yeah, but y'all let in tens of millions and you haven't even deported 1 million. The math is not mathing. But both parties support this.
Like, why am I supposed to support that? He also said he wasn't going to perform in the United States because he was scared of ICE, was going to be at his concerts. And so when did all of a sudden he change his mind? Because Jay-Z gave him a phone call and said, hey, I want you to perform at the Super Bowl. He's a hypocrite, and a lot of you are hypocrites.
Oh, man. So there's a lot of Latinos.
And shout out to Sincere. No, I didn't see that breakdown, but I will check it out. Thanks for the recommendation.
That got smoked for Bad Bunny. He ain't the only one. This Honduran and Cuban dude, right? He got smoked. But there's some women that's also calling him a hypocrite. They're saying that when he came out, he was a champion for the smaller people and his people. But once he got those contracted in with the Diamond Society, and he
Barack, Tether, Obama, a lot of stuff happened under Obama and they just reframed it. When people were getting slaughtered by ICE under Obama, they were just framing it as necessary. And why didn't they just comply? When Obama was going over there and destabilizing Libya and dropping bombs and drone striking and killing Americans, it was like, oops, my bad. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of stuff that Obama got away with, but all presidents are the same. They're all scum. They're all puppets, right? Obama is no different. He's just a slicker, slender version of scum. That's all he is. More politically correct. But yeah, also another thing too, remember when it was Trump, they called it kids in cages. Those cages were Obama's cages, but they didn't call them cages under Obama. They were migrant detention centers. And then those same detention centers, once Trump took them over, they have kids in cages, and they were trying to frame it as a concentration camp and that this was the Gestapo in Nazi Germany part 2, the Redux.
He took that ride down Hollywood and Vibe with them people and that limousine. He came out, man. He started going against everything that he stood for. Everything that he stood for, he went against. So now you got Latina women holding him accountable. How come you Puerto Ricans ain't making videos on these people?
Bad Bunny always talked about, colonization and like imperialism. And he even spoke in a song where he was like, everybody's trying to take from our culture and be like us. He was very outspoken about a lot of things. But then he ended up dating somebody who was the representation of all the things he hated. Kendall Jenner, who made a tequila brand and it basically like took from, Mexican culture.
You don't think people can change?
That's the thing where I'm just like, for him to now like come out and like be that person again. Did you actually believe these things? Or is it just because you just want to profit out of them and because everybody kind of hated you? It's kind of like you say you hate racism, but you end up hanging out with people who are racist.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. How can you surround yourself with people like that when you've been so outspoken about other things?
I'm going to say something that could potentially get me canceled about this whole Bad Bunny NFL situation and the halftime show. And that is that it's a distraction. Yeah, it's a distraction. To me, this is not a win. To me, like a couple of years ago, I kind of like saw through Bad Bunny's persona, and he uses his activism as a very performative way to connect with his audience. He's a performative activist because when the whole Kendall Jenner situation happened, right? People were like, well, it's none of our business who he dates. But I think.
So QG says there is a major poverty in a lot of South American territories. That is why they do anything to come here. However, if they want their countries to change for the better, they have to fight the systems. And this is why people talk about you need to not have the first instance, the first inclination to flee. You need to fight, because this is why I kind of reject many of those excuses when they say they come over here because of U.S. imperialism and that the U.S. destabilized their country. I am a realist, so I will concur that the U.S. meddled and they had a hand in these coups d'etats, all sorts of puppet leaders. But the thing is, in order for you to change that, you can't come to America and say the reason why I came to America is because America was the big bad boogeyman, so I'm going to run to the house of the big bad boogeyman. If you love your homeland and you want to preserve the culture, everything that made your homeland great, you need to stay there and fight the corruption, unless you're saying you're either too cowardly or too afraid or too incompetent to fight. But my ancestors and myself, but specifically my ancestors, they were enslaved people, told that you can't read. And they found a way to say, hey, you know what? Whether we learn how to read, whether we are great in arithmetic, whether we are nuclear physicists, we are going to fight on our homeland, our home soil, to change the conditions here. There's something called a brain drain. Think of it like this, right? I'll use an NBA reference. You got the Lakers, the Celtics, the Warriors, right? If the Warriors wants to make a better team, the best players from the Warriors needs to work on the Warriors team. How could the Warriors get better if Steph Curry goes to the Lakers and Steph Curry is on the Lakers saying, yeah, I want the Warriors to get better? How are the Warriors going to get better when they just lost their best player to a rival team? And that's what the brain drain is, that they're losing their best doctors and all of these things to come in America to live the American dream. So then who's left in these countries that Trump calls shithole? Many of these people come over here desperate, so they call their homelands a shithole. But the reason why your homeland is a shithole is because people that look like you not standing for anything, not having any cultural pride, right? It's a shithole because you guys are allowing it to be a shithole. Yes, it's a shithole with the assistance of Western powers in the U.S., but with your complicity. Who is going to fight? If they're not willing to fight for their homeland, then who will?
It's a distraction. To me, this is not a win. To me, like a couple of years ago, I kind of like saw through Bad Bunny's persona, and he uses his activism as a very performative way to connect with his audience. He's a performative activist, because when the whole Kendall Jenner situation happened, right? People were like, well, it's none of our business who he dates. But I think when you make such a clear stance against something, and then you come up and get in bed with somebody who clearly stands for everything that you stand against, but you want to hide behind the, well, it's my personal life and I can do whatever I want. Right. But publicly, right, you've been against that type of person. And here you are jumping into bed with one of them. That was the first thing that I was like, okay, cool. And after that,
and shout out to Sunlight. She said, we've had the same thing. We've been destabilized in our own country and we're still here. But when we say that, they say, don't have a victim mindset. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. But then when somebody is coming from these foreign nations and I say, hey, well, I kind of really don't care what you went through. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps like we did and like we're constantly told. Then suddenly that turns into you hate immigrants, you're xenophobic, and you're anti-Latino or anti-whatever ethnic group. But all I'm doing is keeping the same energy that you have for us. The same people that say, y'all beg the government too much. As soon as they cross the border, guess who's helping them? The government, the same government that they say that we need to stop begging. You know what I mean? The whole no one's illegal on stolen land. Yeah, but all these people are fleeing from a country that has borders. And if I show up and say, hey, I should be able to waltz in because no one's illegal on stolen land. And Mexico is stolen land. Canada, stolen land. Yet I can't waltz in there, and there's no Mexicans and Canadians fighting for open borders for me to just waltz in. So yeah, we've been destabilized here in the belly of the beast. Yet we stay here and fight. We fight, we don't flee. I understand, right? But just don't flee from your homeland and then come over here and try to wag your fingers and act as if you have some level of moral superiority towards people, right? And we're not acting like we do either. We're just stating what we've actually done, how we fought to make a lane for other people. We didn't fight to make a lane for people to come over here to disrespect us. But since disrespect is the only thing that many people respect, then, hey, you know, we are the master roasters. So, you know, we can get disrespectful. You know what I mean? We can make it a mudslinging contest if that's what y'all want to do. You know, we were molded by the mud, you know, the darkness, you know, like Bane said, you think the darkness is your friend? You know, we were molded by it. What y'all call hell, we call home. I'm in Hell's Kitchen with an apron and a hairnet.
It was like, still, his music is fine, whatever, I can move on. But it was when the halftime show, and that is that it's a distraction. Yeah, it's a distraction. To me, this is not a win. To me, you know, like a couple of years ago, I kind of like saw through Bad Bunny's persona, and he uses his activism as a very performative way to connect with his audience. He's a performative activist because when the whole Kendall Jenner situation happened, right? People were like, well, it's none of our business who he dates. But I think when you make such a clear stance against something and then you come up and get in bed with somebody.
Correct. And some people say, hey, we don't want to give reparations. You niggers don't deserve anything. But as soon as people come the border, it's just like, and you get a debit card, and you get a debit card, and you get a hotel room. Notice how when they came over here by the millions and millions, none of them were homeless. Y'all don't find that weird? It's hundreds of thousands of homeless citizens and tens of millions of migrants, and none of them were homeless. And think about this. They're allegedly, many of them in refugee status is fleeing gang violence, and they're just seeking a better life because there's no opportunities. So that means they're broke. That means they're poor. So how do they come over here broke, poor, ready to do low skills, and they're able to afford New York City, Chicago? I mean, do I have to pull up some of this stuff? In Illinois, they were giving some migrants $9,000 for rental assistance and furnishing. I've never got $9,000 from the government. In Maine, they were giving some migrants 2 years free rent. I can get a lot of stuff popping if I had 2 years of free rent or 2 years of, you know, free from paying mortgage or property taxes. You can get a lot popping. Does this sound like pulling yourself up by your bootstrap? Mayor Adams was giving them debit cards because he said it was cheaper to give them debit cards. Some of those debit cards had $1,500. Some of them had $5,000. I knew a homeless dude over here, and he said he was a Hispanic dude, and he's a good dude. He barely speaks English, but he speaks it enough to understand me. He told me, "Thank you, Biden." This is anecdotal, so I'm not saying every migrant got this. I'm saying in California, this is the testimony. This person who is, you know, a homeless drunkard, he said that Biden gave him $13,000, right? So many of these people, they came over here, and it wasn't to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. These NGOs were flush with cash. So they may say, hey, look, I gave this migrant $10,000, and then they give them $2,000 and pocket the rest. Where's the auditing? No one knows where this money went, right? And like I said, they tell the blacks, you niggers don't need reparations. Stop begging. Okay? Tell the immigrants to stop begging then. Oh, let me guess. That's xenophobic.
And he uses his activism as a very performative way to connect with his audience. He's a performative activist because when the whole Kendall Jenner situation happened, right? People were like, well, it's none of our business who he dates. But I think when you make such a clear stance against something and then you come up and get in bed with somebody who clearly stands for everything that you stand against, but you want to hide behind the, well, it's my personal life and I can do whatever I want. Right. But publicly, right, you've been against that type of person. And here you are jumping into bed with one of them. That was the first thing that I was like, okay, cool. And after that, I was like, still, his music is fine, whatever, I can move on. But it was when this year, in the events of this year.
Yeah, it's weird. Once you go to the Super Bowl, once you perform at the Super Bowl, you don't get paid. So no one is going to go up there to, really upset the apple cart. They may do some sort of symbolic theatrics. And I know Sincere said that the performance for her was theatrical, but there's not going to be, it's nothing going to be any revolutionary. The revolution will not be televised. So why are people looking and waiting and expecting these athletes and artists to put their livelihood, just so someone could clap and say, yes, Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. No. Should they be standing up for people? But why would they stand up for the little guy? This is a capitalist nation which relies on crushing the little guy. So somebody could come over and say, look, and you can be just like me. You know what I mean? That's just all this about. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. With Bad Bunny, salute to him. But this wasn't some love ballad to Latinos.
Year started happening, right? Bad Bunny was very quiet. He wasn't saying anything. It took for things to start happening and affecting Puerto Rico for him to actually come on stories and say something, for him to actually release a video where he takes a stance, right? Performative, because it's not until Puerto Rico was affected that he actually jumped in and was like, hey, not my people, But in the meantime, you have all the other people who are going through it, and he hadn't said anything. And I think people forget that. And
this, unfortunately, this makes many people uncomfortable. And it looks like we got Phoenix Fire in building. But QG says the issue with undocumented individuals after they come here, they are not punished equally for their many crimes. You have to commit many crimes to survive without an identity. We would be in jail. And this is what they call the informal economy. And this is what I always talk about, the double standard, the immigrant privilege and exceptionalism, right? So if it's a dude who's in the hood and he's selling a little bit of something on the side, not to be a menace to society, but to provide some level of sustenance for his family, because you got to eat and pay the bills. He's seen as a criminal. Who cares? You broke the law. You do the crime. You do the time. If someone comes into the country illegally, you can say it's a petty crime. It's a crime nonetheless, right? And they say, hey, they came into the country illegally because they seeking a better life to feed their family. Why is one crime considered heroic when they're feeding their family and another one is seen as demonic? No one is forcing people to buy weed, and there's no gun to people's head, but they've demonized black people as if, oh my God, you're selling, Agent Orange for people to sniff and huff. And this is where there's misleading when they say, they commit less crimes than the native population. Well, in many Democrat cities, and this is happening right now in New York, Mamdani said that he's not allowing ICE officers to go in Rikers Island to get out the undocumented criminals. Now, this is weird because they say they don't want ICE terrorizing neighborhoods. So why wouldn't you let ICE go into the jails and get the known undocumented criminals? You know what I mean? And there's so many crimes that they do, but if they live in an immigrant enclave where many people are undocumented, a lot of people are not going to call and report, because if they call, they have to talk to the police. They're undocumented, and a crime was committed on them by an undocumented person. You know, it's a sad and an unfortunate situation, but this is what the Democrats and both parties want. They love these people to be in the undocumented illegal alien status. Instead of trying to get those people citizenship, they just keep flooding the border open and open. And then they say, we'll give you TPS, temporary protected status. You're not a citizen, but you can stay here. You can get the benefits. You can own a business. You can do all this stuff, but you're not a citizen. If they cared about these people being citizens and Americans, why are they not trying to make it easier for them to become citizens? Focus on the people who've already been here 20 years, 30 years. Instead of helping them, they just bring in a new crop, just flood the border. And they've been flooding the border for decades. They said that it was 20 million undocumented people before Biden got in. So some estimates are saying it's closer to 30 to 50 million. Now, some people think that number is outlandish, but this was The Hill reporting this. And I think like 2018, well before Biden got into office, they said that it was closer to 20 million. And this was prior to Biden coming in and open up the border. Not only that, if you don't have documentation, you have to eat. And just like the wages get stagnated in other sectors, when people are in the streets, let's just use the ladies of the night, right? If you have a immigrant coming over here and she's selling that cooch for $40 and an American prostitute is selling her cooch for $100 or $200, and they're both cute, or maybe one looks all right, one has a butter face, everything looks good, butter face, right? People are going to say, well, I only got $60, so I'd rather go with the $60, I'd rather be a $60 trick than pay $600 for some American box. So even in the street world, just massive unfettered immigration, does propose, it does present some dilemmas for the community. It's not just all flip-flops and sandals and everyone is just getting along, singing, bedtime stories, roasting chestnuts over an open fire. That's not what's happening.
You have to be smarter than the people who are trying to distract us. This is a distraction. This is not a win. And I'm not celebrating. I don't think this is a win. I actually think that they're crumbs, and that they're feeding you crumbs to keep you hopeful that things are going to change. You see, like, not everybody is against you, but all the policies that are being set in place are. It's a distraction.
I know this is a theory that Venezuela emptied out their prisoners, but some people in Chicago say that this is true, right? I know people try to make it as like some racist trope, but there was an influx of Trinidad Agua just popping up in Chicago. And not only that, so if they just drop a bunch of them in a black neighborhood and they commit crime and then it goes unsolved, it's like it must have been a black person. Like, how do you know that though? They didn't catch any suspects and they say, we don't know who did it. Black people, probably was black on black crime. It's like, how do you know it wasn't the Latino Trinidad Agua who did a drive-by? You didn't catch anyone. So how do you know who did that? But if I was Maduro, it would make sense, right? And this was prior to Trump kidnapping him. It would make sense if Maduro emptied out his jails. The U.S. regime was sanctioning him, doing all sorts of punitive things towards him. So if he said, look, man, these prisoners, we have to feed them, we have to house them, shit, let them go run amok in U.S. I mean, if I was Maduro, it would make sense. Like, I would do it. I can't say definitively that's what happened, but if I was Maduro, I would empty the jails.
Don't let yourself be distracted by, oh my gosh, it is such a win. It's a distraction. And another thing, okay, the whole like, oh, we're not going to tour the United States because, you know, like we don't want this and this to happen to our people. They probably didn't let half of their team into the country. Like, it's not.
So I'm telling the FBA family, listen, man, these people are liars, man. Not all of them, because I want to be like them. I'm not going to denigrate a whole group of people just because some of them are liars, right? I'm not like them. They come and do that to us.
And shout out to my Atlanta fam, the ATL fam coming in hot and is late over there too. So the Florida fam and the ATL fam, salute to Smurf in the building.
So I'm not going to do that to them just because I'm not like, I'm my own person. This is the thing. They got, the ship is leaking oil over there. They got a whole bunch of problems within their own group.
Shout out to the Philly bigot or Philly the bigot. Salute to Philly. But Mamdani was promising the world, and now the bus fares have went up. He was going to say, hey, you get a free bus ride and you get a free bus ride. And then now the bus rides have went up. I watched a video earlier of the New Yorkers are furious. Yeah, so Mamdani, like I said, it wasn't going to be a panacea voting in for him. Mamdani is just a yo hipster establishment Democrat. That's all he is. He talks a good game, but before he got in office, he bent the knee to the establishment. He's like the female version of AOC, or a Indian. I don't know what he is. Indian, Ugandan, Pete Buttigieg. That's all Mamdani is. He's not a savior or anything like that. The buses have went up under Mamdani, but I thought they was gonna be free, bruh.
Right? When you go online and you look at these Africans online, they arguing South Africans versus everybody. They want smoke with everybody. Ethiopians is arguing. People from Ghana and Nigeria can't stand South Africans. It's just, it ain't, man, listen. Because we decided to separate and name ourselves and delineate and all that kind of stuff, we've opened the floodgates up where everybody got smoke now. Within the Latino community, they got issues. Dominicans and Puerto Ricans don't get along, right? A lot of those Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and stuff don't get along, right? There is no brotherhood. It's all bull crap. They want us to keep the door open and say black and brown unity, right?
Yes, I did see some videos, and I'm not going to say all New Yorkers are upset with Mamdani, but it is a fact that the rates, the MTA has raised the rates. In Fire, you can ask Roger. I know Roger is usually driving around, so he may not know public transportation, but I did see some testimonial videos from people in New York and said, that the fares have been raised. And that's not something that he could do as a mayor anyways. He and the governor had already shut down that free bus idea. So it was kind of like a pie in the sky thing, or a lie in the sky.
If we're not doing it, we're the problem. When they don't get along, them Africans over there, they can't stand each other. It's the truth. So when y'all come over here in my section, miss me with that, because Jamaicans and Trinidadians can't stand each other. Right? Can't stand each other. Jamaicans and Haitians, they can't stand each other. I know what I'm talking about. But then y'all want to come over here and act all high and mighty towards us. Nah, man, I ain't trying to hear. You ain't fooling me. Pan-Africanism is an idea. It's not something that was actually brought into fruition. It's a dream. It's an idea. But none of these groups actually get along. So don't come over here with that smoke over here towards us, man. We ain't trying to hear it. You Latinos, man, stop it. Y'all don't get along at all. Most of y'all can't stand each other. And a lot of y'all don't even like Bad Bunny, because y'all know he a switch hitter and he played with that other side. So miss me with that. FBA, stand down. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.
Okay, so there you have it. So that was the video. Unfortunately, they're blaming the FBAs, saying that we need to get out there and crash out for what? That we need to be praising Bad Bunny for what? But the anti-blackness, everybody hates FBAs. Unfortunately, many FBAs are self-hating people. There's many in the white community. There's many in the Latino community, many in the Hispanic community. It's just another day in the park for us. But I do want to address the I know black sentiment in the Latino community, how they just despise blackness and they go out of their way to distance themselves from blackness. And we used to adopt and try to assimilate people into blackness and say, no, look, do you know where you're at? This is the United States of America, the land of the one drop rule. Here, if you have a scintilla of Negro blood, you're considered black. Now, I don't concur with that, but this is the mentality that we've had and we've espoused and we've endorsed. And now we have people that like to tether onto blackness. They'll be black at the cookout. They leave the cookout and say that I'm Hispanic. And then they get married to someone else and say, I know black. I'm not like them. I'm Afro-Caribbean. I'm this. I'm everything other than black. And before we would try to convince them, no, you are like us, until we said, like, hold on, they don't want to be like us. Actually, they really are not like us. And then we said, you know what? You were right the whole time. Y'all not like us. And now it turns into, you hate us, you're xenophobic, you hate immigrants. It's like, nah, I'm just keeping the same energy and applying the same logic that you had the same time. Alligators and crocodiles look the same. An alligator is not a crocodile. Leopards and jaguars look the same. A jaguar is not a leopard. So now let's get into this video right here. This is a video from Ricardo Ignacio. And I have a lot of respect for this brother, for this hermano, because he's standing on business. He's probably one of the only dudes in the Latino community. I believe he's Mexican and indigenous, if I'm not mistaken. He's probably one of the only ones that will call out his community. We have a litany of people in the black community that will call us out, that will coon, that will tap dance, step and fetch for some butter biscuits. Not even the butter biscuits, for a crumb of butter biscuits. But when you look around these other communities, you think that they're just angelic, benevolent, and could never do no wrong. Why? Because many in their community would never call them out. That's considered being a sellout. If we don't call out black communities, see, y'all got an accountability problem. But when the other groups don't call out their community, it's just, hey, they stick together. So if black people stick together and say, hey, let's not criticize each other publicly. Let's stick together. See, y'all got an accountability problem. No, we don't. Who is the Latino version of Officer Tatum? Who is the white version of Myron Gaines, aka Amaru Fudil? Who is the Asian version of Charleston White? Who is the Hispanic version of Anton Kuntan Daniels? Right? So we have a bunch of people, whether you like them, hate them, or love them, that are calling the black community out. And much of it is disingenuous, but that's still a level of accountability. The things that they say our community lacks, no, we hold each other more accountable than anyone else. Show me one podcast or segment of Jewish people holding Jewish people accountable for genocide, for Israel harboring pedos. Show me. I'll bring it up right now, and I'll change the direction of this show to pull it up. But you know what? You won't find one, because they don't do that, right? They're considered to stick together. But if black people don't call out each other, it's like, yeah, you guys don't, you lack accountability. But yeah, let's get into this video. If you want to watch it uninterrupted. It's on a Ricardo Ignacio page. This is titled, "My son is not black. He is Latino." So once again, there's no race called Latino. So yeah, okay, fine. Your son could be a black Latino, but to say that he's not black, he's only Latino, well, you can say he only identifies as Latino ethnically, but this is why people try to play these games and talk about race as a social construct while they lean into another social construct called ethnicity. Let's get into it.
I'm not black either, so I know what I am. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I am just, that's my baby.
Let me say hi to him. Hi. That's a black kid right there.
That is not a just black kid, though.
That's
he is a Haitian, Panamanian, Puerto Rican kid.
Hey,
he
young
is
man.
mixed.
Young man, come here real quick. What? Listen.
I know black, Poppy. He's not black. What did I say? I'm not black. I'm Haitian. I'm not black. I'm Panamanian. I'm not black. I'm mixed. Okay.
Panamanian, Puerto Rican kid.
Hey,
he
young
is
man.
mixed.
Young man, come here real quick. What? Listen, sir, I teach these things in schools. You're black. Don't be ashamed, okay? Don't be ashamed of that. Don't be ashamed of that.
Tell him how you feel.
Don't let nobody make you feel ashamed of being black, sir. Don't let nobody make you feel ashamed of that. Hey, listen, young man. When somebody in this world looks at you, the first thing they see is a black boy. That's it. Whatever else you have, like culturally, what your mom is, they don't see that when they see you. When the world sees you, they identify somebody that's black. Everything
You
else.
full of shit. They see their mama's son.
That's true.
They see their mama's son.
That's true.
Right.
They identify dad as black.
They don't identify
Yes.
me as shit.
Yes.
They can't identify me for nothing.
So here her son is agreeing with her. She said, yes, they call dad black. So they call his dad black. So they going to call him black. And she's saying that he's full of shit. They don't see a black kid. They see their mama's son. Yeah, they mama's son who's black. And this is why we saying, fine, we got to delineate. We don't want to be anything a part of this. You're Latino, so don't speak on the black community. Speak on Hispanic and Latino culture. We don't want to hear anything that you have to say about the black community, right? Because she wants to distance herself from blackness. That's fine. You ain't black. We ain't claiming you. We don't want no self-hated, self-defeated people like this. I know black, Poppy. Okay? You're no black.
Hey, listen, young man. When somebody in this world looks at you, the first thing they see is a black boy. That's it. Whatever else you have, like culturally, what your mom is, they don't see that when they see you. When the world sees you, they identify somebody that's black. Everything
You
else.
full of shit. They see their mama's son.
That's true.
They see their mama's son.
That's true.
Right.
They identify dad as black.
They don't identify
Yes.
me as shit.
Yes.
They can't identify me for nothing.
Yes, mama.
You're not gonna identify people by stuff that you don't even know for facts. Like you are such a lie.
That's how race works. It's a social construct. It's how society views you when they first see you. When I first saw this kid, I saw a black kid. That's what race is.
You are just colorblind because there is a term for a like.
What the hell? He's colorblind for recognizing her son's color? Man.
That's what race is.
You are just colorblind because there is a term for that you don't even know for facts. Like you are such a lie.
That's how race works. It's a social construct. It's how society views you when they first see you. When I first saw this kid, I saw a black kid. That's what race is.
You are just colorblind.
And this is why I talked about the self-hate, because many people that actually are racially black, and this is why I keep emphasizing over and over that there's no race called Latino or Hispanic. right? And if you want to go with the racial construct, she would fall under the Negroid, unless she wants to say that she's Asiatic and she's a Mongoloid. But she doesn't appear to think that she's Asian. She thinks that her race, which is not a race, is Latina.
Don't even know for facts. Like, you are such a lie.
What your mom is, they don't see that when they see you. When the world sees you, they identify somebody that's black. Everything
You
else.
full of shit. They see their mama's son.
That's true.
They see their mama's son.
That's true. They identify that as black.
They don't identify me as shit.
Yes.
They can't identify me for nothing.
Yes, mama.
You're not gonna identify people by stuff that you don't even know for facts. Like, you are such a lie.
That's how race works. It's a social construct. It's how society views you when they first see you.
And to be serious, like this really ain't no joking matter. This really is sad, because he's going to grow up having an identity crisis. And then when the black community be like, no, nigga, you ain't one of us. You ain't black. You nigga, go over there. Not because they hate him, just because they see that the self-hate that his mom projected on him, then he may project that onto the community. And we going to see that like a shark senses blood in the water. And then he's going to be labeled a tether, and people going to be like, yeah, nigga, go over there. But we're accepting. This is the land of the one drop rule. We say people that look like Mariah Carey is black. So we definitely would accept this kid. But if he's speaking like his mama, then that's where you're going to get people saying, no, nigga, you a tether. And you ain't one of us, you not like us. And then it will turn into, see, I never was accepted from the black community, and that's why I turned anti-black and start calling them mayates. It's like, no, you were raised to discount and diminish your blackness, and you're just ashamed of it. You know what I mean? We're not ashamed of our blackness. We're not ashamed, of our ancestors being formerly enslaved. Y'all were slaves. Yeah, and look what we overcome. Realistically, that's actually an indictment on you, because people try to do it as a as a pejorative. Ha ha ha, y'all were slaves. And then when we asked for reparations, everybody was a slave. So why are you calling us slaves if everybody was a slave? You know what I mean? Which is a lie, but it just kind of debunks their talking point. Also, we were enslaved and have a richer and more relevant culture than you. We're more prosperous than you. Your ancestors weren't enslaved. So what's your excuse? See, we can make an excuse. You don't want to hear it, because it's like, stop having a victim mindset, right? When we talk about debt peonage, sharecropping, mass incarceration, eminent domain, all sorts of racial massacres, all of that stuff is having a victim mentality. But you coming over here and someone calling you an illegal alien is somehow the same as getting dogs and things sicked on you. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, we're not the same. We don't have the same mentality. And if you're a self-hating black and don't want to lean into your lineage, then cool. Just stay with whatever ethnic enclave that you belong to. Just stay out of FBA business.
Black boy. That's it. Whatever else you have, like culturally, what your mom is, they don't see that when they see you. When the world sees you, they identify somebody that's black. Everything else.
You full of shit. They see their mama's son.
That's true.
They see their mama's son.
That's true. They identify that as black.
They don't identify me as shit.
Yes.
They can't identify me for nothing.
Yes, mama.
You're not gonna identify people by stuff that you don't even know for facts. Like, you are such a lie.
That's how race works. It's a social construct. It's how society views you when they first see you. When I first saw this kid, I saw a black kid. That's what race is.
You are just colorblind, because there is a term for a light-skinned and dark-skinned person. There's called light-skinned and dark-skinned. There's a difference between a Haitian.
What the hell is she talking about? There's light skin and there's dark skin. Huh? There's light skinned black people, i.e. Redbone, light skinned Keisha, salute to her. And then there's dark-skinned Keishas, light-skinned blacks, dark-skinned blacks.
Panamanian and a say a Guyanese.
There's no race called Haitian. There's no race called Guyanese. And whatever else she's saying, whether it's Honduran, Venezuelan, Puerto Rican, those are not races. They're nationalities and ethnic and cultural identifiers, not a race.
Difference between a Haitian, Panamanian, and a say a Guyanese, they're different. They're not the same. You're saying that just because they present.
And this is sad because her son is saying, hey, they identify dad as black. It sounded like he loved his dad, right? Because he was smiling when he said that. Yes. And he was agreeing with the dude. So if he knows that his dad is black, that kid knows that he's black. And here he has his mom saying, well, they can't identify me. And no, he's not just black. He's mixed and he's Haitian and he's this and all that. Like, oh, man, this is kind of making my head hurt. I don't know how much I can do of this lady. And to anyone, if y'all are getting a migraine listening to her, I sincerely apologize.
Light skin and dark skin. There's a difference between a Haitian, Panamanian, and a say a Guyanese. They're different. They're not the same. You're saying that just because they present with a dark complexion, they're considered one race.
His complexion is not how I identified him as black. It's his phenotype, his features. This young man right here, this young man's phenotype, his features. Listen, his features is what identifies him as black. He could even be lighter than he is now. He could be lighter, but if his features are the same, it's what black is. It's the phenotype of somebody, not the complexion. There's people that are black presenting that are very light complected, very light. You mean to tell me when anyone in society that doesn't know anything about him, when they first see him, they could tell that he's Haitian, that he's Puerto Rican, that he...
Shout out to Lil Bro, handsome Lil Bro. Bro got the prison braids looking like OG Bobby Johnson. And she's still pushing the, I know black. This is not my son. My son is not black. He's blanco, blancamiento, mejoró la raza. Okay. And like Washeta says, this is sad because once this kid grows around, I'm sure he's going to be around some black dudes that's going to be like, hey, what's up, bruh? What up, my nigga? You just like us. No, my mom says I'm Latino. Okay, well then go kick it with the Mexicans and see what they call you. Go kick it with those Mexicans and see if they think the black kids is gonna say, hey, bro, you like us. No, I'm Latino. Oh, he go kicks it with the Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and they gonna be like, hey, you're not like us, Moreno.
He's Panamanian, or do you think they say that's a black kid? You think that when somebody that doesn't know him at all, they see a black kid, or you think they see a Puerto Rican, they see a Haitian, they see whatever else you want him to claim, or do you think they see a black kid?
I'm not thinking, you know what I'm saying?
No, this I concur with. This is why people are pushing delineation and cultural gatekeeping. What happens is people try to play these games. You know, they say, I know black. And then we say, you know what? You're not black. So stop speaking on black issues. We don't want to hear you get in our business. And then they try to flip it around and say, oh, yeah, well, actually, I am black and I have African ancestry and you can't gatekeep blackness. It just is like a circular argument. So it's like, that's why it's like, fine, even if you are black, you're not from this lineage. So we're standing on lineage business. Go clean up your house. I'll clean up mine. And then we'll have a meeting at the park and we can talk about how both of our houses are spick and span.
That I'm black, but it's all good. I mean, I'm starting to understand.
Society that doesn't know anything about him, when they first see him, they could tell that he's Haitian, that he's Puerto Rican, that he's Panamanian, or do you think they say that's a black kid? You think that when somebody that doesn't know him at all, they see a black kid, or you think they see a Puerto Rican, they see a Haitian, they see whatever else you want him to claim, or do you think they see a black kid?
I'm not thinking, you know what I'm saying, that I'm black, but it's all good. I mean, I'm starting to understand that I can be whatever I want to be, like a frog. If I want to be a fucking leopard, if I want to be a fucking chimpanzee, I can be whatever I want to be. You know what I'm saying? This is America, and I can be whatever I want to be.
Bye, young man.
Bye.
See you later, man.
Texas is feeling unwelcome.
I feel bad for her son, to be honest.
Access, and I'm about to turn my camera on. It's like calling me a bitch. You calling me out of my name. I am not negra. I am trigueña. I am trigueña.
Wait, calling you black is like calling you bitch?
Is this self-hate or self-hate? Him saying, hey, what's up, mommy? Oh, you black. You negrita. You're a black woman. Don't call me a bitch. I didn't call you a bitch. I just said you're a beautiful black woman. Don't call me a bitch. Huh? Calling her a black woman is calling her a bitch? This shit don't make no sense. Like the self-hate, this is why we delineate. Like, I don't want to be a part of this. No, you're not like us. Fine. Go be over there. You know, this is wild. Let's rewind that back. He rewinded it to the very beginning and he called her, hey, look, you're a black woman. What did you just say? Did you just call me a bitch? No. And matter of fact, hey, chick, negrita, I gotta hit you.
Bitch, are you high? Are you high?
Call me a black girl when I didn't have camera access, and I'm about to turn my camera on.
Bye.
See you later, man.
Because you called me a black girl when I didn't have camera access, and I'm about to turn my camera on. It's like calling me a bitch. You calling me out of my name. I am not negra. I am trigueña. I am trigueña.
Wait, calling you black is like calling you bitch?
Yes.
Then also, if calling her black is like calling her bitch, are she saying that black women are bitches, or is she saying black people are bitches? Right? So calling someone black is calling them a bitch, but then what is calling them Latino? Calling them Latina is calling them beautiful, but calling them black is saying that she's a bitch? This shit don't make no sense, bruh. And that's why, man, is your head hurting too?
Wait. I am trigueña.
Wait, calling you black is like calling you bitch?
Yes.
That's what offends me about people from over there. You think identifying you racially as black is an insult? Why is being black a fucking insult to you guys?
Because that's not my nationality. That's not my race.
What is your race?
My mama didn't tell me I was black. She said I wasn't black because we're not black. I told you it has something.
To keep it a buck with the little bonnet thing that he had on, I see a lot of YNs wearing that. She's trying to make her son. No, my son is not black. Yeah, he's a black. He seemed to be very YN-esque over there. And I don't, I'm using that term facetiously and satirically, right? I don't really like to use that term, but I have to concur. Her son did look like a YN, and she's still saying, no, I know black. Yeah, yeah, he is.
My nationality, that's not my race.
What is your race?
My mama didn't tell me I was black. She said I wasn't black because we're not black. I told you it has something to do with the hair.
You see what I said? Her mama raised her like this. So now she's trying to raise her son like that. So these mentalities are passed down. Her mama said she's not black. So then he asked her, what race is she? And she leaned into her nationality. Many people know what their race is and they want to deny it. So they lean into their nationality, right? Is she the same race as Bad Bunny? They're both Latina, right? Or are they different races? What race is she and what race is Bad Bunny?
My nationality, that's not my race.
What is your race?
My mama didn't tell me I was black. She said I wasn't black because we're not black.
So her mama told her mama just said, no, I know black. Okay. Did she tell you what she was? See, many of these people will say that they're not black, but they won't say what they are. Okay, fine. You're not black, but what race you are. And then they just keep saying Latino, Latino till they're blue in the face. But if you're talking about race, you know that Latino is not a racial group. So then you just keep spinning in circles with a circular argument. But this is the mentality, the mejoró la raza, blancamiento mentality that her mother passed down to her, that she's attempting to pass down to her son, who looks like a YN from O Block.
That's not my race.
What is your race?
My mama didn't tell me I was black. She said I wasn't black because we're not black. I told you it has something to do with the hair.
If you would have, hey, if you would have said to me, Ricardo, you look black. Well, I don't think so. But if you did, that's an opinion. That's not an insult. You're insulted because somebody identified you racially as black. Why is it?
You had me in tears. I was in tears because you're making it seem like I don't know who I am.
Every month, this Airbnb.
So this is wild. She was in tears over him calling her black. He said, oh, look. Hey, what's up, mommy? Oh, you're Negrita. You're a black woman. Oh, my God. How could you call me black? You just called me a bitch. Huh? All he just said was you're a beautiful black woman. How dare you call me a bitch? Who you think you are? This shit is wild, bruh. What are you crying for? You're not a victim.
I was in tears because you're making it seem like I don't know who I am.
You want me to tell you something? Race is a social construct. It has nothing to do with who your parents are and where you were born. Did you know that? It has to do with...
I get this comment, but are you hearing what she's saying? She is saying yes, because like I just already said, Latino is not a race. By you drawing this distinction, you're agreeing with me that Latino is not a race. You can be white Latino, black Latino, etc. She's saying that she's not black. She's only Latino, but he's asking her about her racial group. So if you're asking about a racial group, then you need to draw the distinction and say which racial group you represent, because there's no racial group called Latino. Yet she's not saying what her race is. She just keeps leaning into Latino, Latino, Latino. And people keep asking, okay, fine, you're Latino, but I just want to know what your race is. Is she the same race as AOC? Is she the same race as Bad Bunny? They're all Latino, right?
The way anybody in society identifies you visibly when they see you. It has nothing to do with your blood, what the DNA says, who your parents are. Nothing. It has all to do with somebody seeing you and thinking they know what you are. That's what race is, a social construct. How could it be an insult for somebody to identify you as what they visibly see?
I came out the womb. I came from my mama and my daddy. And so being raised by them, I knew who I was. And you had me questioning who I am. So I had to question you. I don't have a problem.
Hey, and shout out to Ronald McDonald. Is that really Ronald from McDonald's? Tell Grimace I said, what's up? What if someone mistook her for white? Would she consider that an insult? Fair question. Someone mistakes her for black. She thinks that you're calling her a bitch. If you say, oh, my bad, you're not negrito, you're blancamiento. Oh, my God. Ooh, papi, you're getting, you know, getting the verga very moist, right?
With black people, but you didn't know that I was black because you didn't know where I came from.
I still don't know where you come from. Where you?
all Latinos have a blast in the black community because when they come over here, what community do they get dumped in? They get dumped in the community that was a black community, and then they bring so many over, so many of them, that now it's no longer a black community. Oakland in the 90s, 47% black. Now it's 17% black. Mainly a bunch of undocumented Hispanics over there. Richmond, California in the 90s, 47% black as well. Now about 17% black. And the same thing with many of these other ones. They basically pushed all of the black people out of San Francisco. And no one stops to ask themselves this, right? If these people are fleeing gang violence, all sorts of political persecution, they're refugees and just seeking a better life because they're poor and helpless, how the hell do they afford to live in places like San Francisco and Oakland, fleeing gang violence, coming with $2 in your pocket? Right now, think of any American state that you're in. It doesn't matter if it's Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, and you say, you know what, I only got $2 in my pocket. I'm gonna move to Florida, right? And I'll just pray, let go and let God. People will be like, that's hella dumb. How the hell you gonna go to Florida with $2? The lie doesn't even make sense. How could you? Okay, if you had $2 in your pocket, where was the money that it cost you to fly here or to cross the border? You didn't eat any food on the way. Okay, fine. You're here with $2. Now you have to eat. $2 is not enough to get any food. So the whole lie that people are just coming over here with nothing and pulling themselves up, by the bootstraps is, a myth. But like I said, we accept everyone. When the people come over, instead of us, gatekeeping our communities, we look at people as like, look, man, we've been oppressed. We see you guys as marginalized groups. So, hey, come to the cookout, come to our neighborhood. And then these alleged marginalized groups start marginalizing us. See, we say, oh yeah, man, you can set up a taco stand and you can set up a nail shop. And hey, look, man, this is a melting pot. But on the flip side, black people can't set up any businesses in Chinatown. Why? I thought we were all minorities. Black people can't set up anything in a Mexican neighborhood. They firebomb them out and spray things like NK. Nigger killer. This happened in multiple neighborhoods in LA. When their numbers were low, they were like, hey, thank you, amigo. We appreciate you so much. Then they get their numbers up and they start saying that we're nigger killers. You know what I mean? But it's unfortunate. But like I said, in the black community, we're super accepted, and it's a beautiful thing, but it could also be detrimental as well. And I'm going to get ready to shut this thing down in probably like the next 20 minutes. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world. Y'all chose to be here with me, at least momentarily. And for that, I thank you. And hit your boy with a like. Please, it helps boost in the algorithm. I'm not monetized, so when I come over here and deliver these sermons, it's because I really love the people. I'm a man of the people. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, I mean, if you don't want to make a financial contribution to the Cash App, at least hit your boy with a like. It won't cost a fee. The likes are free.
I came from my mama and my daddy. And so being raised by them, I knew who I was, and you had me questioning who I am. So I had to question you. I don't have a problem with Black people, but you didn't know that I was Black because you didn't know where I came from.
I still don't know where you come from. Where you from?
But you still think I'm phonetically Black.
Phonetically?
Phenotypically.
Where do you come from?
Hooked on phonics didn't work for you, boo-boo. Phonetically, he's not talking about phonics, but I get it. Like, this girl's a hot mess.
I was born in Germany, bruh.
Where's your parents ethnically from?
I was born in Germany, bruh. That's not no Latino slang. That's BAVE, Black American Vernacular Ebonics. Talking like, bruh, what it do? Crash out. You feel me? Yada me. Yada I'm talking about. Know what I'm saying? That ain't no Latino culture. So it's like, and this is what people are talking about. You kind of want to tether and leech on to certain aspects of the culture and treat it like a cultural buffet. I have a little bit of that. I have a little bit of that. I'll say, nigga, I ain't black, but who cares? I'll take it from the cultural buffet. I grew up around blacks. I'm not like those blacks, but I want to say nigga just because I grew up around them and they say it. Like, the shit don't even make sense. She's over here talking, you know, with our slang and our vernacular, but I know black. I know black. Talk like a Latina then.
I had a question. I don't have a problem with black people, but you didn't know that I was black because you didn't know where I came from.
I still don't know where you come from. Where you from?
But you still think I'm phonetically black.
Phonetically?
Phenotypically.
Where do you come from?
I was born in Germany, bruh.
Where's your parents ethnically from?
One was from Puerto Rico and one was from Panama. Panama, si yo hablo español.
Okay. So you come in here.
I come here to talk shit to you.
No. You come in here just to tell the world, y'all.
So they also live in very unstable at times. They will have 15 people in one apartment sharing one car. Just because black people don't want to live like that doesn't mean we're stupid. And yes, one of my best friends, he's Bolivian, and there's at least like closer to 10 people. And no one has to take my word for it. Look it up. On average, many immigrant families, they live upwards of 10 to 15 people in a house compared to many American homes. You know, there's a lot of single people and then maybe 2 to 4 people. So when they do household income, how could you compare someone that's a single person to a household income with 10 people in the house and maybe, 8 of them are working? That's not really an apples to apples comparison.
Came from.
I still don't know where you come from. Where you from?
But you still think I'm phonetically black.
Phonetically?
Phenotypically.
Where do you come from?
I was born in Germany, bruh.
Where's your parents ethnically from?
I wish this was untrue. Unfortunately, Ricky Williams, you do have a point. Unfortunately.
One was from Puerto Rico and one was from Panama. Panama, si yo hablo español.
Okay. So you come in here.
I come here to talk shit to you.
No. You come in here just to tell the world, y'all, I'm not black. Calling me black is like calling me a biat, pretty much.
I'm saying you called me that, but I feel like you called me out of my race.
You want me to tell you something? There is no such thing as calling you out of your race.
She hasn't even said what her race is. What is her race? She clearly says she's not black. So what is her race? Does she look Asian? Maybe she is Asiatic. And this is where it gets a little bit cowardly. Oh, you called me out of my race. Okay, what's your race? No, seriously, I don't want to call you out your race. So what's your race? Latino, but that's not a race. So again, what is your race? She still have yet to say what her race is. She said what her race isn't. I'm not black. No, don't call me black. You thought I was black. Don't call me black. Okay, you said what you weren't. What are you? Don't worry. I'll wait.
Oh, I'm not black. Calling me black is like calling me a biat, pretty much.
I'm saying you called me that, but I feel like you called me out of my race.
You want me to tell you something? There is no such thing as calling you out of your race.
Look, I'm a very proud person, okay? I'm a Latina, and it's hard for me to digest that I'm not Latina. Porque yo no soy negra. Tengo un esposo que ya te enseñé la foto, pero no me lo viste por el mensaje que yo te mandé, que él es haitiano. Y él sí tiene la piel negra. Él es moreno. siempre fui racista y después me tuve que como caer porque le digo, este hombre me dijo que yo soy negra y yo le lloré a mi esposo y mi esposo se reía de mí porque él dije, qué risa me da, qué risa me da.
So now you're back to say that you are black.
I literally crashed my car just watching your video because I was so interested in you. Because I was following you. I was like very interested in what you were saying. And I was like, okay, look, I look crazy. My fucking lashes are sticking together and shit.
You're a good looking lady. Don't worry about that. So now you're black.
You told me I'm black and I became black. My mama told me I'm not black. When I started putting grease in my hair when I was in 3rd grade, because all the black girls in my school was like, put grease in your hair because, you know what I'm saying? I had dyed my hair blonde when I was in 3rd grade. You see how many people are conflicted and confused. It's not just me.
But here's my issue. Not that it's necessarily an issue, but for lack of better words, my issue is that you felt offended.
You called me black. I'm confused. I don't like being confused. I don't like not knowing who the hell I am. It's like somebody calling me a bitch. I know I'm not a bitch. And if somebody call me that, I'm going to be mad because I know that's not what I am.
You, from your own words, you said that when you first came on and I identified you as black, you cried.
I was laughing, crying. I was like, oh my God, did you know I'm black? Like, I didn't know I was black. I cried to my husband. My husband took pictures of me and everything. He was like, because I started straightening my hair. I was tripping off of it. I wasn't like crying tears, but I was laughing and crying. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know this. I didn't know this.
Yeah, you know, before we would try to say, no, look, you are black. We have to convince you. But like Jennings is saying, I don't want to mess your name up. But like, I think it's Jerry. Like Jerry is saying, like, nah, you know, you can stay over there. Hold your own nuts. Hold your own lineage. Hold your own filth. Fine. I know black, papi. I know black, mommy. That's okay. Stay over there then. You know what I mean? It's all good. I mean, we don't have to hate each other. Do you, boo? But over there, though.
You felt offended.
I didn't feel offended. I just didn't.
You said. You said
when the girl in the Asian salon was doing my nails and she noticed my complexion and she was like, "You're black. This color doesn't look good on you." I was like, I didn't say anything. I didn't feel no type of way. I don't have no offense to my children being black. That's not offensive to me. I married a black man.
Your son.
I married a black man.
You could say, I don't like that my son is being identified as black, but I acknowledge the fact that he is identified as black racially, and there's nothing you can do about it because that's what race is. It's about acknowledging reality versus a fantasy. A fantasy of we don't.
It's not a fantasy of mine. I've never fantasized about any white people. I married a black man.
You're muted. You're muted, dear. You're muted.
I don't have a fantasy for white people. I don't.
I never accused you.
I married a black man because I loved him and he was attracted to me. But what I'm saying, when I fill out my little FAFSA forms, when I fill out my little SOLs, I never wrote down anything other than Latina.
And that's okay.
For my kids, I never wrote down anything other than Latino. I just never did that. I never acknowledged any other phenotype other than the phenotype that I was raised under. You know what I'm saying?
Look. There is.
Now notice she's talking about phenotype and not race again. When you check the box, there's no phenotypical box to check. And this is why many people are calling out tethers, and this is why people are delineating. Because one day, like she said, she woke up, went to the nail salon. They said, this color is not good for black people. Oh, wow, I'm black this whole time. I've been looking in the mirror. I never knew I was black. Okay, I guess I'm going to live my life as a black woman now. This type of stuff is tethering because you don't really believe that you're black. You see it as like a jacket that you can just put on and discard at any time. When she's around the Latinos, hey, I'm just like y'all. I'm not negro. I'm not moreno. I'm Latina. Gets around the blacks. Oh, look, I just found out. I'm just like y'all. I am like y'all. I'm black. You know what I mean? It's like, which one is it? And like I said, since there's no race, she can be a black Latina and we'll accept her. However, she's trying to distance herself from blackness while still riding and gliding on some soul pole. But hey, I know black. I know black. And my son, no, he's not black. He's Latino. His daddy's black. I love black soul pole. That's why I married him. But my son is not black. This shit don't make no sense, bruh.
Absolutely nothing wrong with you making the choice of bubbling Latino to identify you and your children. Nothing wrong with that. You have you have the right to identify yourself however you feel like it, as well as your children. But that has nothing to do with society and the way society identifies you racially when they first see you, or in this particular case, your children. When somebody that doesn't, if I didn't know you, I don't know you technically, but if I didn't know you at all and I didn't know your son and I just barely seen your son out and about, I see a black boy. I don't know if his parents are from Panama, from Puerto Rico, from Dominican Republic. I have no idea what his parents are from. But you want to know what I know for a fact? That he's black. That, what I just said right now, is what race is and how it works. Is what society sees when they first see you. They may not know who your parents are. They may not know where you were born. They may not know if you have different parents of different racial identities. They may not know anything about you, but they see a black person. That's race. Lo que ven. That's literally what race is. Now, your culture, your ethnic background, that's something different. But race is what you are phenotypically presenting. Your son phenotypically presents somebody that is racially identified as black. However you feel about that.
Yes, I thought this was common knowledge, but Tanya, it appears that this lady doesn't know that. She believes that her race is Latino, Hispanic, and that's why she's pushing the I know black. I know black. But like Roger says, she does look humble. Shout out to bro. He's giving her a mic drop moment. So it's only about 4-ish more minutes of the video. I'm going to let it play more elongated without the interruption so we can get ready to shut her down.
Backgrounds are something different. But race is what you are phenotypically presenting. Your son phenotypically presents somebody that is racially identified as black. However you feel about that, go ahead and feel it. But that's what it is. What's your nationality?
U.S.
I thought you said you were born in Germany.
But I have citizenship from the U.S. So respect me, okay? I do carry a whole bunch of shit with me. You know what I'm saying? I already told you all my business on the first live. I ain't gonna repeat it because you acting like you gonna tell my business, which that's not cool, bruh.
You're the one telling all your business. I ain't saying nothing but responding
I'm
to
not telling
you.
my business. I just wanted to talk to my friend. I followed you.
Bitch, are you high? Are you high?
She's on here telling him her business and saying, oh, I want to tell you my business because I feel like you going to tell everybody my business that I told you. Huh?
I thought you said you were born in Germany.
but I have citizenship from the US. So respect me, okay? I do carry a whole bunch of shit with me. You know what I'm saying? I already told you all my business on the first live. I ain't gonna repeat it because you acting like you gonna tell my business, which that's not cool, bruh.
You're the one telling all your business. I ain't saying nothing but responding
I'm
to
not telling
you.
my business. I just wanted to talk to my friend. I followed you and I liked you.
You know what, C Heights? Maybe that's it's all starting to make sense. I know Black, but then she wanted to slide, ride, and glide up and down on that soul pole for the purpose of citizenship, allegedly or theoretically. Doesn't sound too far-fetched. Ricky says, keep it real. This woman looks like she's from India. She looked like she could be Arabic. Kamala? Kamami? Is that your sister? Come get your sis, Kamami. American born in Germany, but is Latino and melanated, but bro, this shit is wild. American born in Germany, but is Latino, melanated, but not Black. A person of color, but don't call her colored because I'm not really Black. And my race is not Black, but it's what? Yeah, I'm confused too. And shout out to everyone who's been watching this. I know y'all might have a headache. So, if you have some Tylenol, I suggest you pop one. But don't worry. Now, you probably don't have to pop one because this video is almost over. But I know she has been insufferable.
And I was talking to you. I ain't gonna repeat it because you acting like.
What's your nationality?
US.
I thought you said you were born in Germany.
But I have citizenship from the US. So respect me, okay? I do carry a whole bunch of shit with me. You know what I'm saying? I already told you all my business on the first live. I ain't gonna repeat it because you acting like you gonna tell my business, which that's not cool, bruh.
You're the one telling all your business. I ain't saying nothing but responding
I'm
to
not telling
you.
my business. I just wanted to talk to my friend. I followed you and I liked you and I was talking to you.
You liked past tense? I like you still. I just don't like people blowing up my DMs.
But why didn't you just respond to me after I threw that picture at you? You could have just responded.
No, respectfully, yes or no, were you blowing up my DM? And when I mean blowing up,
Damn, what type of picture did she show? Like, you got a hubby. What type of picture was it? A provocative pic? Just curious. I don't think it was, but I am curious. What kind of pic did she send?
You just respond to me after I threw that picture at you. You could have just responded.
No, respectfully, yes or no, were you blowing up my DM? And when I mean blowing up,
I did blow up your DM. I blew up your DMs like crazy.
I don't like that.
Real wild.
I don't allow nobody to blow up my DMs. I block them, no matter who it is. I
sent you my mama picture, my daddy picture, my brother picture, my sister picture. I sent you everybody picture.
People who start like blowing up my DMs, I block them, no matter who they are. And don't think it's personal. It's not personal. Why are you blowing me up like that?
Amelia's funny. I remember I was talking all type of juicy shit on his live, and then I just went up there. But it didn't mean to come up. It didn't mean to all.
What is your name on IG?
I only had IG because I was trying to get to you. I don't even have a real IG. Like, it's Vielka. It's the same thing as the Facebook thing.
So you created an account just for me?
Look, I don't want to embarrass my
Chick, you're married. Why are you doing all this stuff just to talk to somebody on the internet? Is she trying to choose? Damn, man, you got the brother looking bad. Is this some of that self-hate? She don't want to be Black, so she want to get on the Latino train? So the soul pole is not good, so she want to get on the Benito burrito?
I only had IG because I was trying to get to you. I don't even have a real IG. Like, it's Vielka. It's the same thing as the Facebook thing.
So you created an account just for me?
Look, I don't want to embarrass my family, okay? That's all I'm saying. Just don't try to make me look like I'm embarrassing my family. I'm not trying to embarrass my family. I absolutely love and adore my family.
Okay.
They are created from me out of love, and I cherish them very much.
Okay. Well, respect to you and your family.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
Gracias.
Hasta luego.
Adios.
You know how educational that is? For her own son to tell her mom, he's right, I'm black. No, baby, you're not. You know how educational that is for me? Do you understand how educational that is for her son, a black child, to tell her mom, he's right, I'm black. No, baby, you're not. That's why it's so dangerous. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. And this is going to rub people the wrong way, some of you. That's why it's very, very dangerous for black people. Listen to what I'm telling you. For black people to date and have children outside of your race. A lot of us that are not black, we don't understand you. We don't understand you. And when we have children with you, we don't understand you. We don't know how to raise you. You understand? You know how powerful that was for that child to tell his mom, he's right, I'm black. And his own mom, no, baby, you're not. That is a perfect example of what I try to tell people. Be careful who you have children with. You, as black people, having children with non-black people is dangerous if you are having a child with somebody that is not black and are not educated on blackness, if you will. It's dangerous because now look how you're going to raise your kid. Your own kid telling you, Mom, what you talking about? He's right. No way. You're not black. And you want to know what was telling? That initially she came up to say what? You made me cry. You disrespected me by identifying me as black. I cried when I got off the live when you identified me as black. Calling me black is like calling me a B word. That's what she said. That's how she feels about black people. But yet she had a child with a black person and now she's raising a black child. But if you ask her, if you identify her as black, it's like calling her a B. That's very telling as to how she feels about black people. Think, people. Think. When you meet somebody and you like them and you're going to date them, get to know them. Ask them questions. You'll be surprised as to what you get out of them.
So there you have it. That's the video. So yes, I think this has been an extremely fruitful stream. I want to give a shout out to everyone that's viewing this live concurrently and the people that will be watching this on the replay, gang. Y'all can be anywhere in the world. Y'all chose to be here with me, at least momentarily. And for that, I thank you. Now, what I'm going to do is do a quick rundown of some visuals, and then this is going to wind the stream down. I sincerely appreciate y'all. So let me hit y'all with some visuals. If anyone has been enjoying the content, hit your boy with a like. It won't cost you a fee. The likes are for free. And once you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Many of my streams are impromptu, so you stay abreast with the live streams. I will start getting on a particular schedule, but maybe that will come after I'm monetized. Right now, I'm not monetized, so I'm coming on here for 3 or 4 hours to chop it up with y'all because I love the people. I'm a man of the people. So salute to y'all. The chat has been chatting. Y'all have been engaging and interactive, and I appreciate that. So yeah, before I get up out of here, I gotta hit ya. Yeah. Hey. B-Eazy Dat Dude, shit so hot it's burning up. Just go ahead and turn this up. I bring the pain like an aftermath of a car wreck. It's a lot of niggas that say they real, but to me that shit is far-fetched. Them cats is pussy. They really is on some feminine stuff. I rock up on them with the 40 ounces to definition
niggas is rough like Willow Pass. Grew up out on Merrimack, but I used to hang on Willow Pass. These homes that I roll with, outcasts and misfits. Better zip lips so you get hit when the fifth spit. Flatline in your Fitbit. Trap habits is black magic, no voodoo. Get the bands like Buku for the cocaine to go cuckoo. Most these niggas is foo-foo, so I'm shitting on them like doo-doo. I can't fuck with y'all like tofu. I'm just saying, man, like Goku. Bad bitches at the house with me watching Netflix or Roku. Fuck them both at the same time, and I swear to God it was so cool. Street legend, real boss, I call shots cause I'm still saucy. I know some G's to the bike crack on Chirac and then fly back out the mill. When they hear me flow, they say I be burning up, burning up. Cookie to the draw is what we burning up, burning up. What you ain't know, oh, we burning up, burning up. This shit so hot, it's burning up. Just go ahead and turn this up. When you hear me flow, say I be burning up, burning up. Cookie to the draw is what we burning up, burning up. What you ain't know, oh, we burning up, burning up. This shit so hot, it's burning up. Just go ahead and turn this up.
B-Eazy that dude. B-Eazy that dude. Yeah, they know the name. Stacking up the paper, but having money ain't a thing. Standing on business, burning hotter than a flame. From the block to the ballroom, you gotta stand the rain. B-Eazy that dude. Yeah, they know the name. Stacking up the paper, but having money ain't a thing. Standing on business, burning hotter than a flame. From the block to the ballroom, you gotta stand the rain. B-Eazy that dude. Yeah, they know the name.